Today, I'm here to announce that our office will be filing charges against Nick Reiner, who is accused of killing his parents.
Reiner is being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder using a knife. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti has more.
The motive at this point, still unclear, but we do have a better sense of the timeline. Police earlier today confirming Rob and Michelle Reiner were discovered in their master bedroom Sunday afternoon. It implies perhaps that this attack happened in the early morning as they were asleep. And why this matters, Nick Reiner was last seen with his parents the night before, Saturday night, at a house party, a holiday party, where, according to sources, there was some kind of heated argument that took place.
The charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison or the death penalty. No decision has been made on the death penalty. Authorities in Providence, Rhode Island, released another video showing a person of interest in the shootings there over the weekend. No arrests have been made. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed lawmakers today on the strikes against alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. Lawmakers had mixed reviews. Senator Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal.
Is it the policy to take Maduro down? It should be if it's not. And if he goes, what's going to happen next? I'd like a better answer.
This briefing left me with more questions than answers.
The Trump administration is expanding its travel ban, as Linda Kenyon reports.
The administration is including 5 more countries, as well as people traveling on documents issued by the Palestinian Authority, to the list of nations already facing a full ban on travel to the U.S. In addition, the administration is imposing new limits on 15 other countries. The latest to be banned include Mali, South Sudan, and Syria. It's uncertain when these new restrictions will go into effect.
Members of the Trump administration rushed to defend Chief of Staff Susie Wiles after a Vanity Fair article in which she criticized Attorney General Pam Bondi for her handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case and said the president has an alcoholic's personality. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
These are the kinds of comments a chief of staff often gives to an author or a reporter to save under embargo until after they leave the job or until after the presidency. They don't normally give them in real time, and that's what's interesting here. That's what's so remarkable about her decision to sit for these interviews. But so far, as of this hour at least, she still has the support of the White House.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished mixed. The Dow Jones Industrial's off more than 300 points. The Nasdaq was higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Weather has been a big problem for travel, but there's finally good news for one state highway. We'll go right to Nate Connors for that update at the traffic desk.
Yeah, finally some good news, Jillian. The Emerald Queen Casino brings us this report. WashDOT just reopened State Route 410 between Enumclaw and Greenwater. Traffic is alternating through one lane there at the washout, so drivers need to prepare for long backups. And don't forget, we do have the potential still for this to close again with the heavy rain that is currently moving through the region. But right now, we're back open. In Tacoma, we just cleared a crash South 5 at the 705 interchange. You're backed up to Wild Waves. Federway to Tacoma has a 20-minute delay, taking you 35 minutes. Both directions of I-5 are slow between Federal Way and Tukwila, heavier in the southbound direction. Federal Way to Seattle, 45 minutes, but Seattle to Federal Way, an hour and 15 already. This I-5 backup is sending drivers over to southbound 509, and that route is heavy between South Park and Buriam, and then more backups between the airport and downtown Des Moines. South 5 into Seattle, you're packed at 85th to I-90. North 5, heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. And really, all of our other major routes are quickly filling in all the usual places. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. The main event powered by WFC February 6th, only at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Jillian Raftery. You heard the good news from Nate Connors about Highway 410. But flooding and landslides have closed dozens of state roadways and reopened them since storm system after storm system has pummeled our region over the last 8 days. Still closed, a 49-mile stretch of Highway 2 between Skykomish and Leavenworth. Here's Julie Meredith with the State Department of Transportation.
We have no estimated time to open that, and it could take months.
In central Washington, 200 feet of US 12 is washed away. It's closed near the town of Natchez. Meredith says the weather has to calm before permanent repairs can be made on any of these damaged roadways. More than 16,000 Seattle City Light customers are out of power in North Seattle this afternoon. Crews are investigating that cause. And crews are working to repair a levee breach along the White River in the city of Pacific. Evacuations are still in effect for hundreds of families.
So now this is brand new for us. This has never happened before.
A man in Snohomish County died early this morning after driving past road closed signs and into a flooded area. This is the first death related to these catastrophic weather events. This happened at Lowell, Larimer, and Marsh Road. Some neighbors reported a group of teens moving closure signs, but the sheriff's office says those signs were in place when responders arrived and tried to save that man. Get ready for another potentially dangerous weather system.
We've got a cold front coming on shore tonight. It's going to usher in a much different, colder air mass. Hence, we're going to see a lot more snow in the Cascades starting overnight tonight, all the way through this coming weekend, maybe another 2 to 4 feet of fresh snow up there.
The National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning for the Cascades and Olympics now, and there's a high wind warning for the lowlands. If you're in Pierce County and need shelter, Pierce Transit is offering free rides to warming centers and shelters from now until Friday. And great news for Husky soccer.
Kosikov through, and Washington's wait is over. For the first time in program history, the Huskies are national champions.
The University of Washington's men team won the NCAA College Cup National Championship. Weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are going to continue to have more rain today and tomorrow with high winds developing this evening across our region. Lows overnight in the mid-40s, highs in the high 40s tomorrow with rain again on Thursday. Right now it's 56 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Please, this will help. This will help us.
Hello.
This will help.
I'm Tina, last name in the 425, and I love listening to the John Curley Show. I learn something new every day. You make me laugh every day as well. Also, all the players on the show are fantastic. So I work from home. I get off work right about before the show starts. The first thing I do is shut down my computer and sing a little song to my cats. In fact, one of them standing here right now. Dig, dig, diggity, dig, dig, diggity, dig, dig, diggity, doo. Dig, digger, doo, doo, dig, digger, doo, doo, dig, it, dig, it, doo. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hi. Now we're talking.
Now we got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Learn something.
There you go. My seat slowly going down, or is that my ego?
Definitely not your ego.
Joe asked me today, you still going through with the facelift?
And you said?
Yes, because I woke up this morning. I did the thing on my phone for the phone to it didn't recognize me. I had to lay down. It's like, oh, there you are. Oh, man.
Oh, your son's going to be so mad.
I believe, according to Joe, that all the news is right here. On the 2 pieces of paper, including the staple. You know we're going downhill, and there's going to be some layoffs, and there's no staples. Here we go. I was thinking, everybody's talking about affordable housing. What can we do? How can the government help us? How do we get any more affordable housing? Affordable housing, affordable housing. Pah! I say to that. I know. I wrote down PAH, P-A-A-H. Plus, Steve Hickey, our guy, Photog Steve 81. Is he going to be flying somewhere? Is he going to be on a plane or a helicopter where he's talking to us more about the flooding? And
he's at the levees.
The levees, yeah. Okay. Plus, now there's a big storm, some winter storm coming over the pass this evening. Yes. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we'll go. And apparently, I didn't know this. This is good news. This is why we're doing this. There it is right there. You can read it for yourself, you YouTubers out there. We need to wash our Christmas trees. This is the time I dragged the
I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Sorry, Bill. Sorry. Go back to talk about Killing Jesus or some other book. Plus, Brian Hayward's going to be joining us from Japan, I believe.
Japan.
Talking about the initiative process, the drop-offs, the problems, and then also I got in touch with Kelly. She's running the whole organization. I said, where do you need me to be this weekend? I think Ari Hoffman's going to be out as well. He's going to be at different locations getting signatures. So if you want boys to compete against boys and girls to compete against girls, it's nothing to do with trans anything. It's just simply girls being able to compete against other girls. You could sign that. Or if you believe parents should come first and the state could be second when it comes to raising kids, you could sign the initiatives. Plus, I also have a small camera that I'm going to be wearing while I'm in Cle Elum at the Safeway getting the signature signed.
That's official? That's your spot?
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Interesting to see what people have to say. Plus, the Chinese billionaire is still trying to do this. He has got a bunch of surrogates, and he wants 30 boys, no girls, just boys, because he needs somebody to take over his business for him. And then you won't believe, you'll be shocked at who he wants one of his boys to marry. There you go.
Nice.
I haven't heard yet from Seattle what the city plans on doing about the Pride match, because in Egypt and Iran, they've got some problems because I know everybody loves multiculturalism, right? And then all cultures are equal and they're all wonderful and should be celebrated. Hard to celebrate if you're gay and they're throwing you off a building in Iran. What will they do about the Pride match here in Washington? Let's see what else is on here. Oh, we're gonna do the story about the guy stealing homeless people's identities? Does he actually do that, or he's just demonstrating that it can be done?
He said he did it for a long time.
That is nuts and wrong.
Kooky.
Plus, also the latest update on the Brown University shooting, and the people are like, wait, there's cameras all over the place. How do you not have more information? And is the media or the officials there holding back one piece of evidence that would cause people to go, oh, well, that changes the whole motivation? Because I saw how that ABC News reported, there's still no idea. So these two people shoot all of these Jewish people there on the beach, and when they're at ABC, still no word what the motivation was. Yeah, kill as many Jews as you can.
On Hanukkah?
Wonder what the motive. Wonder why. How could somebody be motivated? What would the reason be? Plus, also, it is trending now. I did this. I don't believe. Where'd you get this from? We ran out of time. Sorry, ran out of time. Really, lasagna?
It will shock
lasagna?
you.
The answer will shock you.
The question will shock you.
Oh, that's a tease.
The lasagna will shock you. Coming up in just a little bit. All right. Lasagna. Lasagna. It's my summer call, lasagna. All right, I was thinking. By the way, let me just say that I'm a little distracted before we get started. Hold the gong for one moment, for 1 second. This is so juvenile. But Rance has got a better looking studio than we have. And he's got better lights. He's got a little bookshelf behind him. He's got his book. That's what you do when you write you write a book. You put it up behind you during podcasts and stuff. I'm jealous. Okay. He's got a book. He's got all these little things, little on-air light. Have you seen it, Andrew? His setup?
Who?
He's right there. He's right. He's right on the other side of the wall.
I was wondering. I was going to guess Jason. You want to look stupid?
Yeah, he's got a little. He's right there on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's very fancy. And he acts like why he gets all this stuff. We've got this thing behind us.
We got Teeny.
But yeah, it's all right. That's it. You don't even see her anymore. We just have this banal backdrop.
I don't believe this.
Quiet, Teeny. Hold on a second. I'll handle this. Anyway, this is not part of that I was thinking. It's right here. So what Joe? It was Joe's idea, and I helped inspire it. So what we did is we took a can of beans and we just stuck it in the background, thinking he'll never know. And then I thought, well, he probably will. He's that type of person who's probably checking to make sure there's no dust on his book and all the other stuff. So we went and is it there? Oh yeah,
this is live right now. We're simulcasting.
See it? Can you see it, everybody? See the can of beans over his shoulder?
Oh, he switched.
Switch cameras.
He's on to us.
There he is, talking. Oh, there it is. He's pointing to it.
Right
He's pointing right to it. He doesn't even realize it.
Right at the beans. He just noticed it. Oh my gosh, we gotta get sound. Hang on.
She talking about it?
Leavenworth.
And now it's just worse because he's going to be in the car longer. And
I know. Now it's just like, oh, God, you made it even worse. How could you have made it worse?
Can I go in and steal it?
Wait. Governor Ferguson was urging everyone in the Puget Sound.
That was just a coincidence.
Oh,
He just happened to be pointing at
right
quantum physics in action.
There you
John.
go, right
I mean,
there.
can you imagine?
All right, that's good. All right, anyway, we stuck it back there. Play the gong. This is what we do in the newsroom in between historic flooding. All right, affordable housing. Oh, my gosh, what are you going to do about affordable housing? We need more government. Please, government, get involved. Give us more affordable housing. Now, I would always say, no, you've done more than enough to screw up housing. We don't need more government involved in housing. Fannie and Freddie Mac make it more affordable for everybody in order to be able to get a mortgage, which just drives more buyers into the market, which just drives prices up. They don't really help you with home ownership. They actually subsidize the debt. They like that, right? And they want more people, so they do all sorts of stuff. They allow you to deduct the interest rates. They also help out. The banks don't have to charge as much because they know they're backed by the government, so this creates a false marketing environment. The government also does the thing where it restricts land. When they came up with the Growth Management Act in 1990, it was to stop urban sprawl. Here's what it's done. King County now has 26% of the land is zoned to be built on. That's it. 26% in King County. Because the Growth Management Act says, we don't want you setting up Asian nail salons and Subway sandwich shops anywhere, so we're going to restrict where you can build. In Pierce County, it's only 12%. It's the Growth Management Act from 1990. We really got to make sure that we're protecting all this land. In the entire state of Washington, only 14% is available. So let's see. Let's reduce the size of the amount of land we can build on. Well, that'll certainly make things more affordable. And then the zoning board steps in. And it then reduces the size of the lot and the density and all that other stuff. So you get a local couple, let's say they're living over in Greenwood or something. Of course, they've got the love is love sign out there. They love everybody except if you disagree with them about anything. And they've also probably have Trump as a Hitler sign nearby. They are all in on affordable housing until all of a sudden, wait a minute, no affordable housing near us. We can't have you put a duplex or an apartment building nearby because that would hurt the value of our home. That would decrease the value of the home. That's less money to give to NPR, less COVID masks to buy that they can use outside while they're walking around, heading over to Whole Foods. So let's be like Japan. Japan builds 5 times as many homes as, let's say, they do in California, per capita. And also, when it comes to zoning, they only have about 12 laws, maybe a few more, but we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And by the way, they don't allow the homeowners to write off the interest. What you do is you deduct the value of your home. So as your home gets older, they allow you to deduct less from the price of the home. And what ends up happening is after 20 years, because they build the homes to last 20 years. That's it, 20 years. And you know what they do with them after that? Knock them down. Why? Well, because you're getting less value for the house. Plus, they also know that the land is the thing that has the value. The banks lend on the land, not on the home itself. Now, if it's a concrete home, it'll last about 40 years. But they have completely changed the transitional mechanisms of how people buy homes and what they do with the homes. Because they know that within 20 years, there'll probably be a pretty good chance that they might need that land for something else, more density. So they simply just have the house get knocked down. They don't see the home like we do in the United States as the biggest investment that you have that is subsidized by the government. They just see it as a place to live. So they knock it down and they start over again. And the zoning is also nice because they let the people decide what they want to live in. Like, for instance, in Tokyo, you could live in a 50 square foot apartment if you wanted, or 150 square foot if you really wanted to go crazy, a shoebox or maybe a hamster cage, whatever you wanted. And they build more apartments, they build them faster, and the rents are lower. New York City, $4,000. San Francisco's $3,000. Chicago, $2,500 to $2,800. In Tokyo, $1,100 for an apartment. Now, it might be a little one, might be a slightly bigger one, about 500 square feet, but it's cheaper because they build faster and they allow people to determine what they want to live in. There's 37 million people living in Tokyo, and there's only 9.4 million people living in Chicago. And, of course, you can afford the rent because they have a whole bunch of different choices on what you want to buy. And the fact that they're able to build homes in about 3 months in Japan to compare to us, which is anywhere between 1 year and 18 months, because it is so slow and laborious with all the permitting and regulations that go into it. And when people talk about, oh, the homes are not affordable, my mother and father could afford a home. Why can't I? Well, back in 1960, when your mom and dad had a home, it was 1,500 square feet and there were 3.3 people living in it. Now, in 2020, the homes are 2,300 square feet and there's even less people living in the home. So we don't need more government to get us more affordable homes. We actually need less. We need less restricting of the land. We need less regulations. We need less permitting. We need all of that stuff to loosen up the home buyer and allow homes to be built. You want to cut all the unnecessary regulations. You change the zoning and allow the land to be built. You allow people to build where they want to build and live where they want to live in, and things will be much better. Now, for that couple that's over in Greenwood that I mentioned earlier, that love is love and they love everybody except for you. If you disagree with them politically, they hate you. Here's the deal for you. Yes, there will be a duplex next to you if they change everything. It could be an apartment building, but let's remember, you love everybody, so you'll have no trouble welcoming your new neighbor. Now, will the value of your home go down? Sadly, yes. But here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Invest in Tesla, because the good thing is, last time I checked, it's about $489 a share. It's back up to where it was before you started keying a bunch of cyber trucks. So the best thing to do is get government out of it, let us build where we want to build, let the neighbors figure it all out in the end, and then you'll have affordable housing. There you go.
I guarantee you're going to need some of that.
No, I don't. That's just all. Look, it's all this. Ooh, yep, you're right. You are right. You are right. Why we need to wash our Christmas trees. Well, now I don't know what to say.
Should we check in on the beans?
Let's see how it looks over there. He hasn't seen yet.
Clearer to the extent that it needs to be clearer for foreign narco terrorists.
Oh, look at the
that
beans.
If you send your boats here,
I can't even understand.
We're treating this as if it's
All I
a
hear is
nuclear weapon
beans.
that you're bringing.
Yeah.
We are going to treat you and defend ourselves the way we would if you were sending.
We are so childish. We are so childish. All right, let's go to Nate. Nathan, checking traffic. Nathan.
Yipper, we already have hefty backups through downtown Seattle and South Center this afternoon. South 5 is packed from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. Just volume here. Linwood to Seattle, 45 minutes. And if you're thinking of heading over to Highway 9 and as an alternate route, good idea. But just know it's already packed from the zoo down to Mid-Lake Union. Now, Seattle to Federal Way, an hour, 15 minutes. You're packed from the Duwamish Curve to State Route 516. From there, it starts to thin out, but it's still crowded all the way into Federal Way as drivers continue to seek alternate routes due to our ongoing closure of the Valley Freeway between Kent and Auburn due to flooding. Bellevue to South Center at 40 minutes. You're slow from 520 to the Renton Landing, and thick again between State Route 167 over to I-5. Also, the West Valley Highway remains closed between Kent and Auburn. Still no estimated time to reopen either one of these. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Let's see. I'll give you the worst-case scenario. The worst-case scenario is the heating, cooling system in your house, 10 years or older. It gives up the ghost because it's going to start really running, right? When winter sets in, the thing's going constantly because it's cold outside. You want to keep the house warm inside, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and, wow, would you turn the thermostat down? You go downstairs, you realize, oh my gosh, there's something wrong. The heater's broken. We can't get any heat. And then you start Googling around, like, who should we call? Who should we call? We got to call somebody. I'm going to make it really easy for you. It's Home Comfort Alliance. That's Home Comfort Alliance. Have them in your phone, put them in a speed dial. Just have it written down on a piece of paper somewhere. Make a little note on your phone. That Home Comfort Alliance will be there for you. Let's not have anything happen to the heating cooling system in your house. But if something does happen, for any reason, when it comes to heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, the Home Comfort Alliance is your first call. I can tell you from personal experience, the work they did, the house in Sammamish, and then the great work that they did there out in Cleon. The difference in about 7 or 8 years, but I'm telling you, the customer service is right on every time. HomeComfortAlliance.com. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
After a close call against the Colts.
Jason Myers with his 6th field goal of the day.
Never a doubt, right? Talking about picking each other up, just being there when we need them.
The Hawks gear up for the biggest game of the season. The game that will likely determine who wins the division.
Holy catfish!
Seahawks, Rams, Thursday night at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 5:15.
This should be fun.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Hey, it's John Curley. If you're having joint pain, this will interest you. This Wednesday night at 6, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen really good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar this Wednesday night at 6. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Ready for your next chapter? At Edmonds Village, discover independent living that's truly exceptional. Premium apartments, all-inclusive chef-prepared dining, and a vibrant community in beautiful Edmonds, Washington. Call to learn about Edmonds Village end-of-year incentives. It's time to say yes to more connection, more adventures, more you. Tour today, reserve your spot, and start living fully on your terms at Edmonds Village. Call now, 425-534-5100 to learn more. There is so much to love at Edmonds Village.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. It is not the news the city of Leavenworth wanted to hear. WashDOT announced today that Highway 2 could be shut down for months.
Disappoints us, but it didn't surprise us.
Leavenworth Mayor Carl Flory knows how badly the flooding has damaged the highway, but he says people can still go through Blewett Pass to get there. He met Tuesday with agencies including WashDOT, the State Patrol, and the Chelan County Sheriff's Office.
We kind of realigned what our plans are and how we'll try to handle that to make sure we keep it moving as much as we can.
Leavenworth's Christmas Town was canceled last weekend, but he's hoping it will happen this weekend. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
In King County, evacuations are still in place for areas near Pacific along the White River. A levee failed early this morning there, and crews are still working to repair it. A cold front is bearing down on our region, bringing colder temperatures and a high wind warning to the Puget Sound lowlands starting at 4 p.m. today and going through the night. A blizzard warning has been issued for the Cascade and Olympic Mountains above 2,000 feet starting 6 a.m. Wednesday. On Capitol Hill today, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed Senate lawmakers about U.S. military operations targeting alleged drug boats. The U.S. has conducted a total of 25 boat strikes, including recent attacks on 3 boats in the Pacific that killed 8 people. The Trump administration is expanding its travel ban. Here's CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The administration is including 5 more countries, as well as people traveling on documents issued by the Palestinian Authority, to the list of nations already facing a full ban on travel to the U.S. In addition, the administration is imposing new limits on 15 other countries. The latest to be banned include Mali, South Sudan, and Syria. It's uncertain when these new restrictions will go into effect.
The lights are back on in North Seattle, where 16,000 people lost power about an hour ago. City Light says it was an equipment failure. And now from the KIRO News Radio traffic desk, we've got Nate Connors watching out for you.
Yeah, it's a tough commute already, and heavy rain is adding to it. South 5, you're packed from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. It's 45 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Seattle to Federal Way is an hour and 15-minute commute this afternoon. It's bumper to bumper from the Duwamish Curve all the way down to State Route 516, but it doesn't end there. It starts to thin out there, but it's still crowded all the way into Federal Way as drivers continue to seek alternate routes due to our closure of the Valley Freeway. Bellevue to South Center, 40 minutes. You're slow from 520 to the Renton Landing. You're going to catch a little break, and then it's really thick between the Valley Freeway over to I-5. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both pushing 55 minutes. 405 slows from Bellevue to Alderwood. I-5 slows from the Convention Center all the way through north of Linwood. And there is a bit of good news this afternoon. State Route 410 has reopened between Enumclaw and Greenwater. Traffic is alternating through a single lane at that washout site at milepost 25. So if you're heading this direction, drivers should be prepared for some lengthy backups. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. And for 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Showers and breezy with a few sunbreaks on Wednesday. Heavy mountain snow, high of 47 degrees. Thursday, rain and more wind with a high of 51. Right now, it is 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Whatever. Here we go with the John Curley Show. 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. Home Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs. It's got to be Home Comfort Alliance. Those are the guys and gals to call. HomeComfortAlliance.com. We need maybe we need to get a walk-on song for Steve Hickey, the Photog Steve 81. We don't have one for him yet, but wow, look at you! You decided to put on the vest. Yesterday, you didn't have any good news for us, and it seems like Steve Hickey, you have even less good news.
So this morning, there was some very bad news. We are better than we were off as of about 1 a.m. The HESCO levee here in Pacific broke. As you see here behind me, National Guard troops just pulled up as additional resources are helping place these hundreds of sandbags out here. After about 1:30 in the morning, people started calling in saying that they were getting water into their units. A man called from on top of his roof. At that point, the EOC, or Emergency Command Center, did not actually know about this break yet. They've been monitoring the area because the levee did appear to be getting soft over the last 24 hours. Once they got those calls for help, though, they came out and realized that this was a serious break. Behind me here, you can see there's this green fence, and that's not the original levee. That is additional levee that was placed in here a couple of years ago. And what they found is there was a serious break over here about 50 feet wide. The water came out. Yesterday, where I'm standing, you could not stand here. There was about a foot of water getting up to 4 feet deep down there. As that came in, it U-turned, went down to a low spot into an apartment complex and a whole other community over that way. Since then, it sounds like they have slowed down the Mud Mountain Dam so that they could work on this. And they've also brought in these crews from Seattle Department of Transportation, Tukwila, state-level resources, National Guard, FEMA is here. They've got a whole infrastructure of hundreds of sandbags coming in and equipment to place these to try and block this thing. Hopefully today, they think they can get it under control, but they don't have an official timeline yet.
Steve, are there other sort of areas where they think this water and the levees could be breached? Are there other sort of spots that they're watching and concerned about? Yeah.
There are multiple. And if you live near a levee and you are seeing heavy saturation or leaching, as it's typically called, call into 911, let them know. It doesn't mean you need to run for the hills, but you should alert them because that's the first step in knowing there's a problem. Yesterday, the Tukwila breach, that morning about 9:30 a.m., there was leaching already being observed at that point, and that's what got them out there to be ready for that. And you can see here now another trailer of another dozen or so sandbags coming in. It is just a ton of material they're bringing in here.
How are people responding, Steve, to evacuation orders? Are you getting people, well, I've lived here for 50 years and I'm not moving? Are you getting that kind of thing? Or are people being fairly respectful to the request for evacuation?
The 1 to 3 feet of water that came in last night kind of wiped everybody's attitude away that we're typically used to seeing, where they say, no, we're not ready to go. When I came out, we put up video last night. There were people swimming out of their apartments. Other people helping rescue because at that point, National Guard had not shown up yet and the local resources were overloaded. And so neighbors were helping neighbors. Anybody with a Jeep or a tall pickup were going in and getting families with babies out of there.
Yeah, so that's good. People will try to wait for the last minute on these sorts of things, and then it causes even more problems. So I was seeing with Governor Ferguson reporting 1,200 rescues and evacuations occurring in 10 counties. And as you mentioned, if you notice any sort of beginning of sort of leaking of the levee, that's sort of a warning to you, and call 911 on that. Plus, also, you'd mentioned yesterday that the government website that you thought did the best is sort of updating the latest. For people that might have missed the show yesterday, you like this particular site because you think that's got the most up-to-date information on what's happening as this storm continues and the changes happen. What was the site again that you'd mentioned?
Yeah, and I'll add a second thing to that, too. That's kcemergencies.com. Go to the map section. I found last night the front page alerts did not have this going on for about 5 or 6 hours. But if you went to the map, you would see it. That map is updating in real time. I don't know if it's they got to get somebody to come in and write the thing out, but the map is really what you want to go to get your best information.
You always are everywhere, wherever there's news. And I don't know how you decide where you're going to go, Steve. So while you were covering this, were there other things happening? You're thinking, oh, I got to get to that shooting, or I got to get this or get to that. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. But this is what you do. And people that follow you at Photog Steve 81, they almost rely upon you to be the first guy there even before the police show up. Were there other things that happened overnight that you're like, I can't get away from this levee, I got to go to this? Anything else that happened?
I got a number of messages about other areas that were possibly leaching. I passed those on to the EOC in real time that normally I would have went to go and take a look. But I've been doing this now for 3 or 4 years. I'd never seen anything like this and realized this is where I was going to camp out for the rest of the night, unless Mount St. Helens blew or something like that. This was the biggest thing happening.
Got it. Okay. Well, we appreciate that you spent some time with us on the John Curley Show. And this is the guy that I follow for the news. I got a bunch of people on my phone. Of course, KIRO Radio. I do Brandy Cruz at Undivided. Steve is there for me at Photog Steve 81. Just great a citizen journalist. Is that what I would call you?
Yeah, I would say so. I specialize in kind of the incident side of it. I don't do politics. I have my opinions. I don't think they're that valuable. I stick to these types of things where we can see government do something and do something well. I like to highlight those and just show where your tax dollars are going, whether that be crime fighting, firefighting, or large-scale incidents like this.
Yeah, good. I appreciate that. By the way, my opinion's not worth anything either, but apparently they keep paying me. Thank you, Photog Steve. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be checking back in. Hopefully all these situations improve. The bad news is for anybody that was, hey, where's the winter weather? Here comes the winter weather. Nate knows. I think it's I-90. Nate, I don't want to throw you off on this, but is it 90's going to be seeing some snow this evening?
Yes, I-90. That one and Highway 12. Actually, the entire passes on the Cascades, and then also the Olympics. But we're not driving over there, but the mountaintops, basically.
Right. And the sad thing is, we just heard that cut from in Leavenworth, the mayor of Leavenworth, talking about. I mean, this is the prime time for these guys, right? Everybody wants to get over Leavenworth this time of the year. They even extended. They used to do just a Christmas tree lighting just on one weekend, and then they realized we probably pack more people in if we extend this thing. They turn the lights on, and then everybody leaves. I turn the lights off.
Yeah.
I turn them back on again, turn them off again. So, tree lighting.
I've got a friend flying in from Florida. His entire family, they're coming to go to Leavenworth on Monday.
Okay.
And then this happens. They shut Leavenworth down last weekend. They're hoping it'll be back open by next weekend. But then the other thing, they came to go skiing too, and we're apparently in the middle of a snow drought. So as soon as I saw this blizzard warning, I sent it right to him. Like,
your friends are losers. No, they have bad taste in friends and bad places to go.
That's right.
So is Highway, Stevens Pass, is that going to be closed for a while? Highway 2?
Yeah. They don't have an exact date, but they said at least a couple months between Skycomish and Leavenworth. That's 50 miles. So you're not going to be able to ski at Stevens Pass.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nate, for all the bad news.
Well, here's some good news: is they open up State Route 410 today. So if we get snow at Crystal Mountain, you can head to Crystal.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Right.
Thank you for the snow report as well. All right, Nathan, let's do the rest of the traffic. What do you got?
Yeah, all right. This one brought to you by Seattle Sports. Well, we just got worse, Seattle to Everett, because North 5 just passed 164th. In fact, almost approaching 128th there in South Everett. A collision blocks 2 left lanes, and this adds to our solid backup starting here in downtown Seattle. Seattle to Everett has climbed an hour and 10 minutes. Bellevue to Everett at 55 minutes. South 5 is still thick from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. Linwood to Seattle has gone up to a 50-minute drive already. Seattle to Federal Way, hour 15 minutes, and it's packed from the Duwamish Curve to 516. From there, it thins out, but it's still heavy all the way into Federal Way. And this is mostly drivers, adding to our normal drive, these are drivers that are seeking an alternate route because of the closure on the Valley Freeway between Kent and Auburn. I'm hearing they may be opening some of that stretch right now. I'll dig into that as we aim for our next report. Bellevue to South Center, 40 minutes. It's slow from 520 all the way to the Renton Landing and bumper to bumper along South Center. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. If you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear glasses or contacts anymore, and you're concerned about cataracts, do what I did. I got to tell you something. My eyes were so bad. I had a whole box of glasses, and they break and everything. I had to wear a pair to see at night, then another. I'm playing the piano. I'm trying to read the music. I was like, I need an excuse as to why I'm such a terrible piano player. It's these glasses. The glasses are throwing me off. So I went to find out about RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. A couple different places that'll do it, and I just lucked out. I went to K2 Vision. I went in there, and I talked to them, and the first thing that struck me is when I met Dr. Kopstein, he said to me, listen, don't get too excited. I'm not going to do this procedure unless it's going to have a great result for you. He said, I might tell you to come back in 10, 15, or 20 years. I said, no, let's fix them now. He goes, no. I'm not going to do it unless it's going to have a great result. Took a look at my eyes. He said, your eyes aren't so good. I said, I know. That's why I'm here. So I signed up. 5 minutes in one eye, 5 on the next, all done in one day. Went back, I think it was the next day or 2 days later. I got 20/20 vision. I've never looked back. 20/20 vision, no more glasses, no more readers, no more contacts. They took a little cataract out of my right eye. You want to find out more? K2visionrle.com. That's K2visionrle.com.
After a close call against the Colts.
Jason Myers with his 6th field goal of the day.
Never a doubt, right? Talking about picking each other up, just being there when we need them.
The Hawks gear up for the biggest game of the season. The game that will likely determine who wins the division.
Holy catfish!
Seahawks, Rams, Thursday night at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 5:15.
This should be fun.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Your local credit union, WSECU, believes in making a difference. That's why they're recognizing Washington's community champions, everyday people who strengthen the fabric of our communities. Steve Rabel here with WSECU board member Marcus Glasper, and it's time to announce our next community champion.
Our community champion this week is Matthew Ballantyne in Lacey. Matthew builds beds for children in need through his organization, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Thank you, Matthew, for providing more kids the benefits of a good night's sleep.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
Oh, the Christmas party hop?
Mistletoe hung where you can see.
Just trying to see how many corporations are still doing Christmas parties. It's a thing of the past.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
I haven't been to one in 10 years.
Oof, they are the worst.
Although, I mean, some people are.
Yeah, I'm sure some people are. Never doing that again. I had an awkward experience. I first got hired at King 5, and a King 5 employee tried to kind of put the moves on me while going up the Space Needle elevator.
Oh, my.
Oof. I was like, I'm new here, but what the heck?
What department was she or he in?
I'm not saying anything. no one's going to do this. Who's this information coming from? Probably the government.
The National Christmas Tree
Oh,
Association.
yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, but you need to wash your Christmas tree, real or artificial. Remove the dust, the mold spores. That's what Christmas is all about.
Yeah.
Pollen and potential pests and accumulated during storage. Improving indoor air quality, preventing asthma triggering, and real trees need to get hosed down, and artificial ones should be wiped down or vacuumed. Please. No one's going to do that. I don't think. Maybe if you there's the people that, with the over a no-shoe house.
I'm going to do it now.
Oh, our house is rampant with disease. I mean, it'd be like a TB, like back in the 1920s, like a TB ward at our place.
Yeah.
It's good for you. Build your immune system.
You got mice and everything.
Yeah. I even said to Nick the other day, I looked underneath the cabinet. I said, well, the mice are back. She goes, yep, getting ready for the winter. Coming in underneath there and eating the sponges and stuff. But according to the people that sell you Christmas trees, and by the way, this isn't going to help you with your Christmas tree sales. Number of people buying artificial trees, way up. People buying the real trees, way down. Price continues to skyrocket because you can pay like $140 or $180. And because the artificial trees look so good compared to the real ones, people are like, yeah, I'd rather pack it away every single year rather than going out and having to cut one down. Because we live on 25 acres, we just go out. I go marching around there. I cut one down the other day. I was like, oh, this one's beautiful. And I felt kind of bad. Like, they're all over the place. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't want to cut this guy down. I said, no, I'll take. So I saw him down, comes crashing down. And then I go to pick it up. I'm like, holy crap, is this thing heavy? I was like, I can't even get it out of here. It was on the side of a hill, so I had to tie a rope around. I'm dragging it down the hill, and I'm like, screw it. And I just left it. And then I feel even worse. It's up there. It's like I cut it down. That's the Christmas tree. And now I got to get Nick to go up there and help me drag it out of there. Twiggy was of no help whatsoever.
Come on. Who's your guy? You got a guy on retainer out there.
I don't have a guy. I'm the guy. When I was working at Vic's Wild Garden, I think Vic's Wild Garden, look it up, see if it's still there. Vic's Wild Garden. I think they still owe me a paycheck. I was working there during the holiday season when I was like 16 years old. I really needed the money, and the guy that was working there was like, "Yeah, we don't tie off the trees real good unless they tip us good." It's like, I think I told the story before, but I'm like, wait, how's that work? He goes, yeah, if they don't tip, you hold on to the string, and when they make the right-hand turn on the old Gulf Road, the tree comes flying off.
Oh my God!
I told that story, and I was like, how does the guy that? But how do they know because they didn't tip? How do they ever connect the fact that they didn't tip you to the fact that their tree came off?
Well, they don't. It's just karma.
Well, this is him thinking. You could smell the steam coming off his ring. He's like, yeah, well, they know deep down they didn't tip, and that's why the tree came off. I'm like, man, okay, whatever. When the people that I used to, they tie it, and then they tip you, and I would always let go of the string. I said, no, I didn't get a tip. Hey, you let him go. You shouldn't have let him go. You suck. New kid.
I don't find any evidence that Vic's Wild Gardens is still operational. There is a book called Vic's Wild Gardens. I don't know if that's...
they got a picture of me in there?
Oh.
Selling the Christmas trees?
It closed down in 1989.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Too bad. Such memories.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Vic's Wild Garden. Oh, my God. So cold. You're taking people out there. Oh, we want to see another one. You get another tree. You bang it on the thing. The leaves will drop. The branches will drop when it gets inside. And you're like, no, can we see another one? You put that one back. And then they always go back to the first one that they saw. Like a half hour later. Hands are freezing cold.
How long ago did you cut down the tree? The one you abandoned?
How long ago?
Yeah.
I don't know, like about a week ago. Why? Oh, shush.
It's out there dying. Now
everything's dying, Joe. I signed it up for Longevity Medical Clinic. It's going to be fine. Let's check in with Nate, who'll live forever. Nate, checking traffic. Nate's on.
All right, thanks, John. North 5 through Linwood, just past 164th. Collision blocks 2 left lanes, and this adds to that backup that starts here in downtown Seattle. Seattle to Everett, an hour 20 minutes. Bellevue to Everett just caught up, also an hour 20 minutes. And 405 is solid from Bellevue all the way to Alderwood. And then, of course, you're going to join that North 5 backup. Everett to Seattle, hour 5 minutes. 3 backups here. South Everett starting at the Boeing Freeway down to 128th where we have that crash. Minor slowing in Linwood, and then it's packed from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. Got a new crash in Shoreline. It's eastbound on 145th and right in front of the Jackson Golf Course, blocking the right lane. This is just east of I-5. Seattle to Federal Way, hour 15. Bellevue to South Center, 45 minutes. We're seeing our new normal backup forming westbound 18 between Covington and Auburn with the closure of State Route 167 through Kenton, Auburn. Turns out the Valley Freeway is still closed. We're seeing drivers ignoring road closed signs now and are trying to drive around getting onto the freeway. And wind advisory just been issued at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you've got bone on bone when it comes to the knees, you got arthritis, you got your bad wrist and the shoulder, you got a bad hip like I had, whatever the reason, and if it's bugging you so much and you've gone to a doctor and said, well, it looks like we're going to have to do surgery. Let's hold off on that. You know, probably a great doctor, probably, but just have you considered a stem cell procedure? I'm sure you've got lots and lots of questions. Well, they'll all be answered for you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, has got a free live webinar talking about stem cell procedures. He's done 20,000 of these. It's an in-office procedure. It takes 90 minutes. I can tell you from personal experience, the minute you meet Dr. Wagner, you're like, ooh, I'm in good hands. And you notice when you're sitting in the waiting room there, which I didn't wait very long, there's all sorts of like athletes that have gone to him. There's pictures and there's the jerseys are framed and everything. Well, if those guys go to see Dr. Mark Wagner, I'm coming here. He fixed my hip. I'm running again. It's been about 9 weeks. If you've got questions about a stem cell procedure, this is the place to be. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Easy to sign up. drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Thank you to all of our great KIRO News Radio listeners.
This is the moment.
For making the 37th year of Holiday Magic our biggest one yet.
It is a celebration that benefits Treehouse.
Thanks to your generosity and the important work of Treehouse, kids in foster care will have the holiday they wished for.
We ask you to give. You do. You always come through.
You can still donate. Just head to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You know us. We're the heating and air conditioning company with the big colorful logo and the recognizable trucks you see all over Western Washington. You know us as the company that believes in the good we're doing and the impact home comfort has on your personal happiness. In its third generation, our family-owned business has been improving the lives of our customers every day since 1957. Call the experts in installation, service, and repair. Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Your family's comfort is our family's business.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because is they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free.
Nick Reiner being charged.
2 counts of first-degree murder.
Search for the Brown University shooter.
We're asking the public to look if you have any camera systems.
White House response to a Vanity Fair article.
We should be giving fewer interviews to mainstream media outlets.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Rob Reiner's son is formally charged after Sunday's discovery of the bodies of the actor-director and his wife in their master bedroom. 32-year-old Nick Reiner faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and a special allegation of using a dangerous and deadly weapon. In this case, L.A. District Attorney Nathan Hochman says a knife.
These charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty,
which Hochman says has not yet been decided. CBS News Los Angeles' Gwen Baumgartner.
Nick Reiner's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, was seen leaving the house Tuesday and said earlier his client could not be in court due to medical issues.
He has not yet been medically cleared, so he will be here hopefully tomorrow.
Reiner was last seen with his parents Saturday night at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. 2 sources there say the family argued.
A suspect is still on the loose 4 days after the shooting deaths of 2 students and the wounding of 9 others at Brown University. CBS's Katrina Kaufman on the release of a new enhanced video of the suspect.
We see him slowly walking around on these streets as he made his way to that engineering building where the shooting ultimately took place.
Providence Chief of Police Oscar Perez.
You want to focus on the body movements, the way the person moved their arms, the body posture, the way they carry the weight.
President Trump says on social media he is ordering a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers into and out of Venezuela, ramping up pressure on embattled President Nicolas Maduro. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles pushes back against a Vanity Fair article.
For starters, the Vanity Fair article quotes Susie Wiles as critical of Attorney General Pam Bondi's handling of the Epstein case and describes Vice President J.D. Vance as a conspiracy theorist.
Sometimes I am a conspiracy theorist, but I only believe in the conspiracy theories that are true.
Speaking in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Vance defended Wiles.
I've never seen her be disloyal to the President of the United States, and that makes her the best White House Chief of Staff.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt also defended Susie Wiles.
This is, unfortunately, another example of disingenuous reporting,
saying Wiles' words were taken out of context. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump will deliver a live primetime address tomorrow night at 9 Eastern to discuss his accomplishments and future plans. Stocks closed mixed on Wall Street. Now this.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
An update on the breached levee along the White River, that in just a moment. But first, Nate Connors has your KIRO News Radio traffic.
Thanks, Jillian. It is really busy out there. Heavy rain saturating across the region this afternoon. Just plan on at least 15, maybe 20 minutes slower than normal on most all commutes out there. Our collision North 5 in Linwood, just past 164th, was just clear to your left shoulder. That is good news. Opens up a couple lanes, but it's left you with an hour, 40-minute commute from Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 15 minutes. Coming the other way, Everett to Seattle, hour, 10 minutes. You've got 3 backups, South Everett from 526 down to 128th. Minor slowing there in Linwood, and you're bumper to bumper from Northgate all the way to the West Seattle Bridge, actually. Everett to Bellevue is at 50 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, hour 15. It's packed at the Duwamish Curve to 516. From there, it'll start to thin out, but it remains slow all the way down to State Route 18 now on Federal Way. Bellevue to South Center, plan on 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. It could be several days before repairs are complete on a breached levee along the White River in Pacific, and that means several days before evacuated families can return. The issue was discovered 1:30 a.m. Tuesday today when a spotter noticed a trickle turn into a major failure. Here's Kelly Hawks with the Valley Regional Fire Authority, who says responders waded through waist-deep water to alert nearby families.
The Valley Regional Fire Authority, along with Pacific Police Department, worked quickly to get people evacuated out of the area. Those people are now in shelters.
She's asking people to stay away from the levee so crews can finish those repairs. At least 13 highways across our state are closed down or restricted from all this flooding, including a 49-mile stretch of Highway 2 between Skykomish and Leavenworth, which could be closed for months. Most rivers are expected to crest over the next 24 hours. A flood warning for the Skykomish River has been extended through Thursday evening.
We're in for the long haul, and all that water is putting a lot of stress on our infrastructure.
Governor Bob Ferguson says he's unlocked more than $3 million that can be used immediately for emergency efforts. The governor says he will work with the legislature for more as the true extent of the damage becomes clear. And the state is applying for federal funds as well. Snohomish County has launched a survey asking residents to report flood damage so the county can help secure disaster funding. In Snohomish County, the man who used a pipe bomb to blow up a couple's car last year has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has details.
According to the Department of Justice, 55-year-old Stephen Goldstein from Everett called the couple to gloat about the explosion while using racial slurs. He's been charged with 3 federal felonies and will spend the next 5 years behind bars.
Hyundai and Kia have agreed to a major settlement with 36 state attorneys general, including Washington's AG Nick Brown. Both Hyundai and Kia sold millions of cars without standard anti-theft technology. The lack of engine immobilizers fueled a nationwide surge in thefts and joyrides, often ending in crashes. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are going to continue to see rain tonight and overnight into Wednesday with a lot of showers tomorrow. Highs in the high 40s, overnight lows Wednesday into Thursday in the low 40s. Right now, it is 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Sue Bell in Palm Beach, and I thought I'd share with you a little story of my other life when I was in New York City, and I was a member of SAG-AFTRA, and I was an extra in a Jennifer Lopez movie. It was a darling movie, a little romantic comedy, and we were filming in the Rainbow Room. Very, very elegant. And this is the dress I wore. Not much hanger appeal, but it was really good looking on. The shoot went for 3 days.
Okay, diving into the Brian Hayward coming off from Japan. We don't have time for her. Sue Bell. All right, get him in here. He's a troublemaker. You know that song you're going to play for him. Oh, look at Brian already. Here he comes. Troublemaker, millionaire, trying to buy votes. Yeah, sure, go ahead, all dressed in black like the villain that you are. All right, Brian. We're getting close, and I say we because I got a dog in this fight because I don't think. I was looking at Pierce versus the Society of Sisters, 1925. The Supreme Court rules. The child is not the mere creature of the state. Those who nurture him and direct his destiny have the right, coupled with a high duty, to recognize and prepare him for additional obligations. That's the Supreme Court in 1925. For some reason, in the state of Washington, there are a number of folks that believe, no, the state takes the top position, and the child is basically the mold to be formed, the clay to be formed by the Democratic Party. You're like, well, I don't know about that. I want to give the people an opportunity to do it again with the Parents' Bill of Rights. So after it was passed and then they gutted it and redid it, a 13-year-old basically has control over everything because we know how smart 13-year-olds are. And the parent is in a, I guess, third position. The kids first, then the school, then the parent. So you gave everybody another opportunity to have the Bill of Rights, Parents' Bill of Rights, the initiative to be signed. How's it going?
Good. We've got only a couple of weeks left. So we're going down the chute. We've got about 310,000 signatures on the Parents' Bill of Rights, and we got about 340,000 on the girls protecting girls sports.
Yeah.
You need 309,000 verified. So we're trying to get up to closer to 380 to 400,000 by the end of the year. We've got about 300,000 mail that we sent out several months ago, and people need to get those sent in to us. We got plenty of firepower in the works. We just need people to get them to turn in.
Yeah, it made it a little more difficult because you couldn't go and set up the signature gathering areas because there was just too much conflict. And they would know where you were, and then they would go there and scream and yell at people and try to stop people from signing. Were you shocked by that, Brian?
Yeah, actually, everyone, like, there's a lot of things in Washington State that are shocking, but this one has been really sort of outstanding because it's not like, it's one thing if you go through and you go, oh, hey, I don't like you, I disagree with you. Even someone come by and saying you're a jerk, that's one thing, right? And certainly there's an amount of that, but this is like really people that are unhinged that come up, and the police are there because another person assaulted the signature gatherer, and someone walks up and tears up the signs and begins to tear up the signature sheets while the police are there. Like, they're that unhinged and then they're shocked that they get arrested. We had a hit and run. Like, really? Like, you're so desperate to do something here that you're going to be crazy and drive off in your car and hit a shopper as you're trying to escape from stealing our initiatives. That's kind of, and now I'm getting a lot of love, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
I never in my life have been called the C word, and now I have.
Well, it looks like you're coming to us from some basement somewhere. Are you okay? Are you safe?
Yeah. I'm safe. This is in Japan, so I'm actually I'm safely in my Japan home.
Okay.
But I'll be back on Friday.
So talk about the economics of signature gathering. I don't think people understand that the person that's standing there in the cold, being yelled at, being spit on, whatever, a lot of them are hired guns. They get paid per signature, correct?
That's correct. And we've got probably about 3/4 of the ones right now, they're still in the state that are doing it out there on the street are paid signature gatherers, but we have volunteers who'll just go out and just do it because they believe in the cause. Most of the people that are in the state right now are from Washington State. There's an attempt to say, oh, these are a bunch of out-of-state people. Sometimes those people come in. California right now, California has imitated what we did, and that was they figured out, like I did early, that if you run multiple initiatives, the cost per signature goes down. And so there's about 15 or 16 initiatives running in California right now. If someone gets all 16 papers signed, they're getting like $58 per person, right? And that's a lot of money. They can make bank. But here in Washington,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I've never seen this confirmed, but there were rumors that different states will put stuff on the ballot or get initiatives going in order to draw the signature gatherers out of one state and move them to another. I think it might have happened a number of years ago. Was it here? And then they moved down to Florida because these people that do this, and, God love them for standing out there getting yelled at by people, they'll go where the money is. Does that actually happen, that they'll conspire in a way to make sure, you won't be able to afford your signature gatherers?
Absolutely. And it's not so much the affording as it is pulling them away. There's two things that we've seen happen. One, there's a couple of, we know because the signature gathering companies go all around the country. Like the same, they do both left and right sometimes, right?
Yeah.
We talking to the people that are doing it, we know that there's some big billionaire money that would specifically trying to target. We saw it during the CCA. There were people trying to pull away in Colorado or California to do something they'd offer more money there. More to pull people away. And then the second thing that we saw last year specifically was the ACLU and the WEA were part of a group that offered money to our signature, the hired people that we had. They would come up to them. First, they would threaten them and try to scare them off from doing their job. Then they were really targeted. Like they would pick the weaker ones that were there, right? And then they would scare them and yell at them and threaten them. And then when that person would leave, they'd approach them in their car. And we got a copy of a flyer that said, "Hey, if you'll go to Florida until the end of December, we'll pay for your flight down there, and we'll guarantee you like $5,000." Right? So they're trying to disrupt us by making it enticing not to be here. And they've got money. It's the unions. The unions have huge money. The NGOs have money. ACLU is doing this. It's sort of shocking that in some ways, that's the most shocking thing. Who's lined up against us? It's the frickin' teachers union and the ACLU that don't want to protect girls' right to be alone in their locker room without boys, like Sadie that you had on the other day.
Yeah.
They don't want parents to know what's going on with their kids. It's crazy.
So I saw the WEA put $50,000 in. The ACLU put in $50,000. There's a union. I don't know which one it was. Another.
SEIU.
Yeah. I know politics makes strange bedfellows, and I don't want to think what's happening in that bed. But like, why are these groups not wanting somebody to have their voice heard in Olympia by putting their name down on a piece of paper, saying, "Yeah, I think I get the right to raise my child. There's my decisions, and my kid's 13, and my kid, by the way, in the state of Washington, can't have a tattoo." Right.
Yeah.
Can't have a tattoo, but you can cut off their ding dong, or because the kid has self-diagnosed that, I need to have affirming, quote unquote, affirming care, but you can't get a tattoo, but you can, irreparable harm done to your body. It is the weirdest word and world. And why those three, the union, ACLU, and the teachers union, are all part of it, Brian? What's their ultimate goal? Like, what do they really want?
The first answer always has to be somehow money. I'm not sure. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'll tell you what I see from the WEA itself in the like both in their documents and there's a couple of whistleblowers that have shared with Brandy Cruz what's going on with some other people, what's going on inside the WEA meetings, where their complaint is on the parents' rights. They're saying, "Oh, this will be a real pain in the butt. We'll actually have to talk to parents," right? So one, it's an extra work burden. And number two, they're saying, "We've worked so hard to get curriculum autonomy. This will blow us up if we have to give a crap about what parents think we're teaching their kids," essentially is what they're saying.
Right.
And then the third piece is this, and I think this is a big part. The ACLU, the SEIU, the WEA, they always have been liberal, but I believe they've been captured by the sort of ultra progressive woke, right? And there's a cancel culture there that's brutal. It eats its own. It's not just right against left. It's sort of, you're either woke or you're dead, right? I mean, so I think that's captured the institutions there. And certainly they're playing a game in this, and that's very ideological.
Yeah, I actually watched the stuff that was Brandy Cruz was able to get somebody to surreptitiously videotape and then give it to her, the union meeting. And their complaints were, well, and don't quote me on the times, but if we have to tell the parents about what the curriculum is, we only have 3 days instead of 7, and that's going to be additional work for us, and that's going to be a pain. And then they're going to, make changes, or they're going to want to opt out. It just basically seemed like they didn't like the fact that they had to do more work. That was one of their complaints. I couldn't find much else. I don't think Brandy had much else as to what were the other problems, especially regarding because your other initiative is girls compete against girls, boys compete against boys. If you're a biological girl, you compete against girls, and if you're a biological boy, you stay and compete against the boys. And the first thing people throw at people when they run up against them, they're signing initiatives in front of a supermarket, is they say, "Well, you're anti-trans,"
which that's just, there's a couple of things. They say you're anti-trans, which we're not. This is not about harming trans kids. I think they need love and support and understanding. They've got a mental health issue that they seriously need to have serious adults working with them on to help them work through it. And I'll tell you what's really, this was not my fight. I had no intention of even getting into the trans issue at all. It was really protecting girls' sports. But as I've gone into this, my allies have been people that are detransitioners who went through this and go, "What the heck?" And I've got allies that are, there's a woman, Jamie Reed, who's a lesbian from Missouri who married a trans woman or trans man, and now worked in a gender clinic. right? And then went, oh my gosh, this is wrong. This is horribly wrong. What's going on? And sort of became a whistleblower herself. And it's these people that are coming and sort of working with us saying, no, it's not just about girls' sports. That's important. But there's something else much more nefarious going on. And this needs to get its lid blown off. And the initiatives are not about that. It's not anti-trans. I think that there's a bunch of ill-intentioned adults doing ill-intentioned things to children. And that's a scary thing that, like, if you say that out loud, the scream against you is, well, you're a bigot. You hate trans people. No, I think they need some love and support. I think I don't think I got this mail letter back to us today. Like, they'll take our signatures and they'll write this big long letter and they'll say, God doesn't make mistakes, right? And I agree 100% with them. Like, but they're saying God doesn't make mistakes except when he put a boy in a girl's body. Like, that's what seems what their message is. And I think God doesn't make mistakes. He puts you in the body you're in, and whatever your challenges are, that's something that needs to be dealt with, and you need loving adults to help you. But there's this whole crazy thing that's happening to kids, right? And I don't think it's acceptable.
Yeah, but as much as that's not what the initiative's about, that it bleeds in and then wipes out the discussion. If you just frame it with a girl is biologically disadvantaged to a boy in most cases. Smaller lung capacity, smaller cardiovascular, less muscle density. I mean, all of it. I've had discussions with people that are, don't like the fact that you're doing this. And I say to them, but don't you see that the girl wants to compete against another girl without a biological advantage going to another person? And they said, well, that's a trans, that's a boy that identifies as a girl. Like, you can identify all you want, but it's simply not fair to the girl. But then they do, well, it's not fair to the boy who thinks he's a girl. I go, but take that out of it for a moment. Just girls competing against girls. Why do you think they have two different categories? Why do you think they established two divisions, girls and boys? They did that because they want the girls to be able to compete against girls. But then when you get into the mental part of it, well, no, that's a boy who thinks he's a girl. Yeah, but okay, but what about the girls? The weirdest part of it, Brian, is like, who's standing up for the girl? Because you get into this Marxist view of oppressed oppressor. So who is more vulnerable in here? Well, the more vulnerable is the boy that thinks he's a girl. So therefore, we yield to that individual as opposed to the girl that's swimming, running, doing whatever she's doing. She's not the victim. Who's the victim here? The victim is the weaker of the two when people have this conversation. And that's not where it should go, but that's where it goes. And that's why people seem to have a big, big problem with it. And then you get called a bigot or an anti-trans or some other thing. What's the next move for you? And by the way, before you answer that, and maybe you don't want to answer this, how much money have you spent on this?
About $10 million total since I've been doing it. I mean, I could do a lot of lot funner things. Not call names with that money. I promise you. If you count the initiatives I did last year plus this year, and this year we've got people that are stepping up and helping us. Like, I feel like I had to oil the gun with quite a bit of oil, but I oiled the gun or the machine so that there could be some hope in the blue state of Washington that you don't have to move to Idaho, right? That you don't have to leave to somewhere else. You can stay here. Because eventually there's going to be this point where even the liberals in Seattle go, crap, we may have screwed up, right? And I think you have to keep fighting the fight long enough and not abandon the state. For now, if they do well tax, sorry, the place is going to burn down, right?
Yeah, because you know enough individuals that have worked hard, earned their money. Some the old-fashioned way by inheriting it, and others have worked the other way by earning it, and they're fleeing. They're leaving because they simply don't want to stay. By the way, every time I fill up my car with gas, not only do I curse Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates, who they don't care that the cost of gas, because what's 54 cents to them or whatever it is, 72 cents to them, they don't care, right? Because they've got their private jets, they got their drivers. But boy, they pushed hard to be able to
Which were exempted. The jets were exempted. Jet fuel is exempted from the CCA tax. That's even
right.
Salt in your wound, right?
Right. As the guy with a broken down old pickup is putting, $200 or $180 in the car. There goes Bill Gates' jet flying overhead. Man, that thing screwed us. Man, that screwed us over.
Right.
And it did. You must sit back and go, well, I was right. I said it was going to happen. right?
I did.
But it didn't help
Yeah,
you.
and no, but yeah, and it doesn't like I don't like paying higher gas anymore than I grew up poor, so I don't like. I'm still a tightwad in my heart, but I don't like paying it. But it doesn't hurt me like it does the person that's got to drive from Everett down to Bellevue for a job every day. That kills them. Like it's a ton of money they're paying extra.
Yeah,
I estimated one time for a household. It's anywhere from $600 to $2,000 a year extra money just on top of the money they're paying. That's not their gas money. That's the tax they're paying on their gas money.
Right. But don't forget, we are helping to cool the earth while China continues to punch more CO2 out into the world. But we're doing our part.
I compare it to in the old days when you could smoke on an airplane. It's like the one guy back in row 75 who decides, I'm not going to smoke to make this less smoky, right? That's sort of Washington State. Oh, hey, we're going to not smoke while the whole plane is smoking like 7 cigarettes a flight.
Those are the good old days. Boy, my mom, she did her share of providing secondhand smoke for everybody. All right, Brian Hayward, let's you get back to whatever it is you're doing down in some basement in Japan somewhere. I see a lot of exposed pipes and things back there hiding out.
It's all old. It's 200-year-old wood, and I'm looking out at Mount Fuji, so it's not a bad place to be.
No, but come on back home again, and let's have a victory for everybody trying to get these initiatives signed, because a little bit of common sense, there's always some room for it. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate your time.
You bet. If we can get everybody to mail in their ballot or mail in their initiatives now, we need them. It's the crunch time.
Got you. All right. Thank you, Brian. There he goes. The troublemaker. Here comes Nate checking traffic for us. Nate.
Thanks, John. Weather-related delays across the map making for a rough commute. Here are some of the big ones. Seattle to Everett, plan on an hour, 40 minutes. A 40-minute delay here with a solid backup from downtown Seattle. Almost 128th there in South Everett. Bellevue to Everett, hour 25. You're solid from Bellevue to the Alderwood interchange. Everett to Seattle, hour 5 minutes. 3 backups. You're slow from 526 in South Everett down to 128th, though this backup is thinning out. We've already cleared out in Linwood, and then plan on sitting in a 9-mile parking lot from Northgate to I-90. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 25 minutes on 520. We're at 20 minutes on I-90. Out in Issaquah, southbound on Front Street, you're bumper to bumper from I-90 onto Issaquah Hobart Road all the way down to May Valley Road. That's a 4-mile solid backup. Just volume, no blocking issues here. Westbound 18 is packed between I-90 and the Tiger Mountain Summit, and both directions of State Route 167 as well as the West Valley Highway remain closed between Kent and Auburn. Still no estimated time to reopen these. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Listen, this is probably not going to happen to you. Let's face it, these types of things don't happen to you, right? Because there's no way when you're, when sleeping and then you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden you notice the house is freezing cold, and then you happen to notice that the thermostat isn't working, you happen to notice the heater's not working. This stuff doesn't happen to you. It happens to somebody else because you're going to be prepared. You've got Home Comfort Alliance ready to go. Maybe it's in speed dial on your phone. You've got it in your, you got an app or something, and you're ready. Because if something does go wrong in the winter, because boy, when the temperatures start to drop, the chances of something going wrong goes up when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs. You're not going to have to scramble to try to find someplace. Go start Googling around, and next thing you know, the first one that comes up, you're like, let's just call those people. Who are those people? You check the reviews. Oh, that seems okay. Really? Are those the real reviews? I'm telling you from personal experience, it's homecomfortalliance.com. They have got your back if something starts to go wrong when it comes to heating, cooling, and heating, cooling, and electrical needs. It's homecomfortalliance.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed-rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses, and yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident Book Series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. WashDOT announced today that Highway 2 may be shut down for months between Skykomish and Leavenworth due to the recent flooding. Mayor Carl Flory is disappointed but not surprised given how badly the highway is damaged. He points out you can still get to Leavenworth by going through Blewett Pass.
I do know that there's a lot of people who love being here, that it's part of their tradition to be here. You know, I've talked to a number of them that have said, okay, we're coming from Bellingham, but we'll come down a little further in order to get over there.
He met with WashDOT and police agencies today to talk about ways to keep traffic moving in light of the ongoing closure of Highway 2. He hopes Christmastown, which was canceled last weekend, will go on this weekend, but that'll be up to Mother Nature. Widespread power outages could affect the Puget Sound region and mountain communities. High winds are forecasted to pick up starting now in the lowlands. A blizzard warning is in effect for the Olympics and Cascades starting tomorrow morning. Federal agents say they've arrested a Louisiana man in connection with two suspected terror plots, a foiled New Year's Eve bombing in the Los Angeles area and a planned assault on ICE agents in the New Orleans area. WWL's Ian Ozan reports.
According to federal court filings, FBI agents found guns, gas canisters, and body armor in Micah Lignon's car when they intercepted him last weekend on Highway 90 between his hometown of New Iberia and New Orleans. Agents claim that Lignon used messaging apps to discuss both his terror plot and the Los Angeles attack with members of an anti-government group. Lignon is being held on a threats by interstate commerce charge, but Loyola University New Orleans law professor Dane Ciolino says he expects prosecutors to file additional charges.
There could be more serious conspiracy, terrorism type charges that we'll see down the road.
Ian Ozan for CBS News, New Orleans.
4 days searching for the person who shot and killed 2 people at Brown University in Rhode Island. Police have now released a new blurry image of a person of interest, a man about 5'8" with a stocky build. They're hoping neighbors near the school may have better video. And now let's turn to Nate Connors, who has been diligently watching our roads.
Oh, yeah, it is a tough one out there. Heavy rain isn't helping at all. Seattle to Everett, plan on an hour, 40 minutes. You've got a solid backup from downtown Seattle. Again, almost 128 there in South Everett. Part of this stems from an earlier collision, which is sitting on the shoulder there at 128. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 25 minutes. You're solid from Bellevue to Alderwood, and then you'll hook into that North 5 backup. Everett to Seattle, we're down to a solid hour. You've got 2 backups, really. South Everett from State Route 526 to 128. Not much there in Linwood, so we can scratch that one off the list, but it is a parking lot from Northgate all the way down to I-90. Seattle to Federal Way, hour, 20 minutes. We're packed from MLK Junior Way to 516. Westbound 18 is heavy between Covington and Auburn, and looks like we're starting to reopen sections of State Route 167 southbound between Kent and Auburn, and looks like maybe that whole stretch is open right now, but northbound continues to be blocked there at 15th next to the Outlet Mall. We've got a wind advisory over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in effect right now. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. As you've heard all day, we're going to have rain and more rain over the next 24 hours, but a few sun breaks in the afternoon. Thursday, again, rain and lots of wind as well. We are looking at 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Heavy rain and historic flooding. As another round of storms moves in, KIRO 7 News is here to get you plugged in and prepared. Live team coverage and real-time information, changing water levels, road closures, landslides, and evacuation orders. Stay ahead of the storm. Watch KIRO 7 News live at 4, 5, 6, and 7 p.m.
Wow, that was a good show. Well said, well read. I felt like I was there, and I feel like experiencing it.
I feel like they added an extra hour.
Really on a deep cerebral level.
That's right.
Let me see if I can match that. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. 16 locations. My God, they've been around for 50 years. 50 years, that's a long time to be changing tires and oils and fixing transmissions. 16 locations, my God. My God, man. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. There you go.
Excellent.
Thank you. I'm really digging deep on that one. Chalk this up to more scary stuff coming from China. By the way, in 1990, you know what the poverty rate in China was in 1990?
No.
90%. 90% of the people live in poverty, 1980, right? It's almost at zero. Within 30, 40, 50 years, you go from an incredibly poor country with way too many people as far as they were concerned, and they narrow it all down, one-child policy, right? And then lock everybody in. You get this weird sort of communism, capitalism, all working together. And they're serious about a number of things there in China. One, they want to kick our ass. They want to be number one in the world. They want us to work for them. They want us to have basically a feudal system. They are the lords. We will have the land. We will produce what they need us to produce, and the power and the money will go to China. They're buying up land. They're buying up farmland. They don't like the fact that because you're going to raise the price on our soybeans. That's okay. We'll just come in and buy thousands and thousands of acres of soybeans. So we'll produce our own soybeans. So we don't have to worry about your tariffs because, we're growing our own. Or we're going to buy a whole bunch of land. We want to sort of set it up near a nuclear site where we fire off missiles. We'll just buy some land over in that area as well. They're buying up land. They'll come in and buy up land. They come up, buy up a bunch of houses, never live in the homes. They pay cash for them, and then they leave because they realize, that's a nice little investment for us. We'll have a little bit of money. And then you get this guy, Chinese billionaire, having dozens of U.S.-born babies with surrogates. So inside Los Angeles courtroom, something quite isn't right. Clerks working for family court. She finds that reviewing the routines, this is the surrogate petition when they spotted unusual pattern of names. So a Chinese billionaire was seeking parental rights for at least 4 unborn children. And the court's additional research showed that he had fathered and was in the process of fathering 8 more, all through surrogates, because he wants to be able to have the kids born in America. Then they will be U.S. citizens. And then he hopes to eventually have 30 altogether.
Well,
what kind of father is he going to be? Going to the soccer games and teaching them how to throw the ball?
He wants 30 American boys. He already has fathered 100 children, confirmed.
Boy, that'll wear the prostate out.
Surrogates in Europe and some in China. He has actual, he dated a woman who had a couple of his kids in China.
The old-fashioned way.
Yes, the old-fashioned way.
What a dinosaur.
She alleges that he has closer to 300 children. But his goal is to have 50 males that will hopefully someday marry other well-to-do kids like Elon Musk's children.
Yeah. So you're just going to, supersize the genetic pool with this guy, which I don't really have a problem with. If you're really, really smart and you want to have a bunch of smart kids, go at it. They are at the top of the heap when it comes to IQ. China's at 107. Then you have South Korea 106, Japan 106. Iran is in 106. Let's see, where are we? Let's see, where UK, France.
We're on there somewhere.
Yeah. There we are. Yeah. 99.74.
Average, right?
With all the hits, 99.74. Yeah. That's where you're on the average on that thing. But dumb people make dumb kids. Genetically, and I can tell you because I entrap my kids. I'm not the price bulb, and but my kids have actually sort of jumped past genetically what I handed them. But if you're not very bright, you marry another person, or you just have a kid with another kid, not very, two dumb people making not that very smart kid, especially not as a genetically, but then also sort of nature nurture. So you get 2 people that aren't very smart, they have a kid, and they're in an environment that doesn't challenge them intellectually. Well, then you sort of not only genetically entrap them, but then environmentally entrap them as well.
Fair.
So I don't have a problem with this guy producing more kids.
Well, the court in Los Angeles did. He was apparently has a house in, I think it was Irvine, California, where he's got about 20 of these kids living, and they're being taken care of by nannies. And his ex testified saying, they're not being taken care of well enough. He appealed that.
Are they in small boxes?
I don't know. There is a video out there. We can't show it, but it is, shows they're all different colors and shapes and sizes. They look like they're eating and being taken care of, but there's a lot of them.
I think the thing that you miss on some of this, and I had a friend who was a billionaire, and the way he raised his kids ruined his kids.
Yeah.
And he thought he was helping his kids because, just giving them food and whatever, and the dad isn't there. Like, what do you turn them into, right? So you can go one way where there's absolutely no involvement, then you go another way, and this is a way of sort of just trying to genetically create this super race. But what about the soul of the kid?
Yeah.
What about the dad coming in and tucking him in at night, or reading a bedtime story, or teaching you how to hit a ball?
Did your friend not do that?
He was never around. You can't be a billionaire and be around. You're not tucking many kids into bed at night.
Yeah.
No, but he had a weird thing that he would do. I'll tell the story.
Okay, good.
I can't do it now, though.
Okay, next.
All right. Yeah. It's. I think it's going to really mess them up. All right. Here comes Nate. Nate, checking traffic for us. Nate, on.
Seattle to Everett, hour 40 minutes. Got a solid backup from downtown Seattle here into South Everett. Bellevue to Everett, hour 25. Solid from Bellevue into Alderwood, and then you'll join the North 5 backup. Seattle to Federal Way, hour 20 minutes. This is kind of the theme this afternoon. Big backups and very lengthy drive times. You're packed from MLK Junior Way all the way to 516. From there, you're going to thin out, but it's still slow all the way into Federal Way. Bellevue to South Center, 50 minutes. A solid from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Then you'll slowly thin out into Renton. Another thick backup through South Center. In Kitsap County, southbound 3 is jam-packed from Chico all the way down to the inlet. That's a 6-mile backup there. And Tacoma to Olympia, give yourself a solid hour. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you've got some problems and you say, oh, I got some arthritis, I got bone on bone in the knee, you're sitting around complaining to your friend, well, my hip's bad or my shoulder's bad, I got a bad wrist, I got a bad this, got bad that. And then you start talking about who's going to do the work on you. Oh, I got a good knee guy, I got a good hip guy. Do you have a good stem cell guy? You should, because this could be a better choice for you when it comes to problems with your hip, your knee, your wrist, your shoulder. I can tell you from personal experience, when Dr. Mark Wagner worked on my hip and I got a stem cell procedure, took 90 minutes in office, went to work the same day. I've spent, I think, 9 weeks now. I went for a run. I'm running now. I feel great. I hadn't run in 7 years. I've talked to a whole bunch of patients that had an opportunity to work with Dr. Mark Wagner and get stem cell. And they are from like 60 years old, a 55-year-old guy, a 78-year-old guy playing baseball again. Everybody is getting their life back. Here's what you need to do. If you've got time tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, sign up for that webinar. Dr. Mark Wagner is going to be there, and he's going to answer questions about stem cell procedures. drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
The Northwest's trusted news source.
We're learning that it was two brothers who were fatally shot in Lacey.
KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized.
Experienced voices you trust.
A fierce budget fight is coming down to the wire.
Coverage you can depend on.
King County's $20 billion budget.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer, because here you're getting a notice, you call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
The real estate market is picking up and you want to sell with the best. You need to work with the Novak team. Mike Novak guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If not, he'll sell it for free. Go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell it for you. Meet the Novaks Novaks.com. Here we go. You're writing to us. It's going good for you. Teeny's going to find that letter of the day. It's going to be Paul from Sammamish, who we think something weird's going on with Paul.
I do not know.
Oh, yeah. Act like you don't know, Teeny. Next time I see Paul at Swiftwater over there in Suncadia, I'm going to ask him. By the update on the Swiftwater thing. Breaking news. Or the, let's see. It is the Bean Watch going on. That's right. Jason Rance simulcasting, doesn't realize it now, but what we've done is we've snuck a can of beans behind him because I'm going to admit it, we're childish and we're jealous. He's got a nicer looking set than we do.
Critique of capitalism. Is that not too on the nose?
Okay, who's he talking to?
Is there
he's
no
trying to talk to somebody.
self-awareness at all?
You talk about self-awareness. How about you looking over his shoulder and seeing a can of beans that we put back there?
Yeah, no idea. What
No way. He has no idea. Here it is.
Seth Rogen.
You know he wouldn't allow that.
What we'll do is we're going to ask the listeners of our show, because we know how childish you are.
Yeah.
What else do you want to see back there?
Yes. I thought my first idea was we'll put Teeny on the shelf, but she's...
No, too big.
Yeah, too big.
Maybe something else, stick something. He obviously doesn't look before he goes on.
No.
I got to say, Jason Rance works so hard. He's here every, I come in at 10, and he's here at 6 in the morning pounding stuff out on Twitter and X and everything, and he's also running Seattle Red. He doesn't have time to look at what's behind him.
No.
And that's where we come in.
That's right.
That's where we come in. So 1-888-973-5476. What else would you like to see? Behind him. Oh, this is so bad. So childish, but it's the holidays.
I know. What are you going to do?
Come
on.
It's a can of holidays.
It's a can of beans. Don't get
Happy
so
Hanukkah.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made you out of clay. When I'm dry and ready, the dreidel I'll play.
Did you? So it's this week, by the way, in
Yes.
case you didn't know, holiday, what do they call it? Holiday magic?
No,
Week of Wonder.
Yes,
Week
Week of Wonder.
right.
I wonder who made the pea soup that was downstairs.
Well, day one of Week of Wonder was dreidel spinning, hosted by Jason Rance.
Was it a competition?
Yes, I believe so. Right, Andrew?
I wasn't here yesterday.
No, you missed it.
That's right.
I missed talking about it. Anyway, there's his. There he is back there, unbeknownst to Jason.
That's right. I like our new simulcast option.
That's
Grasping at straws to get something that's kind of edgy that they think will please a progressive audience who are not even going to them.
What's going on over there? Okay. I didn't realize he's simulcasting while we're on. People have to make the choice. Who do you want to hear, Rance or Curley?
We'll let you know what he's up to.
Okay, here's the quick story. So a friend of mine, he is a billionaire, and he used to do this. He would call his kids every single day from wherever he was in the world. He would speak the language from that country. France, speaking French, speaking German, I don't know where else he'd be traveling, maybe a little Japanese, and he would call every day at the exact same time, 7:30 in the morning, and the phone would ring, and then he would ask them 3 questions. What will you do for the country? What do you plan on doing for the family? And what will you do for yourself today? What are your goals? Well, the girls and the boys were like, oh my God, they used to run to get the phone, because if they could get a goal right? And then the other kids were like waiting. They hand the phone to dad. Bonjour, papa. And then they're like, oh my God. Well, anyway, it messed the kids up because the thing was that's the way the dad was built.
Yeah.
The dad was built that way. That's how he became a billionaire. I mean, he worked his butt off and he thought, I'll just take the same sort of intensity that I have of life and just stick it on top of these kids. Well, I mean, it just messed him up. Phone would ring, bring, bring. I was like, first of all, why was I there?
Yeah,
there?
Right.
No, I don't ask those questions. But it was like, you can imagine the stress.
How old are these kids?
They were old-ish.
That's a lot of pressure,
anywhere
Nick.
between like 22 to 26 or something.
8:30 in the morning.
Bing, bing, bing.
Wow.
Bonjour, papa. Yikes.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and then think about, so what are you going to do for the country today? What will you do for the family today? What are you going to do for yourself? Imagine every day that phone ringing and your dad wanting to know what your goals were. Again, that's who you are. You are built to take on the world in that way, but your kids are not. It's finding out, the kid is a unique individual. They have to find their own way, and man, messed them up.
Was there inheritance tied to that?
I'm sure there's something in there, Joe. All right, let's check traffic with Nate. Nate, what do you plan on doing for traffic today?
Oh, just going to get right down to it. Seattle to Everett, hour 40 minutes. That's a 40-minute delay. You got a solid backup from downtown, 128th in South Everett, where we have this long-term collision on your left shoulder, but drivers are slowing down to check it out. Bellevue to Everett, also hour 40. You're solid from Bellevue to Alderwood. Everett to Marysville, once you get in there to Everett, is looking pretty good. Just a 15-minute trip, but it is packed between 526 and Highway 2. At Highway 2, you're going to break free. Seattle to Tacoma, an hour 45 minutes. It's packed from MLK Junior Way to 516, and then from there it thins out, but it remains crowded all the way into Tacoma. And State Route 410 is reopened between Enumclaw and Greenwater this afternoon. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Sorry to cut your time short there. Longevity Medical Clinic wants to give you more time on this earth. So maybe during Thanksgiving, you looked around, you took a moment, and you're like, wow, I love being surrounded by friends and family. I'd hate to check out of this game early. And you know what takes most people out of the game? Heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Those are the big three, right? So here's what happens when you become a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic, like I've been since 2009. You will do 4 blood draws a year. And then you get a chance to talk to your doctor for an hour. An hour, either in person or over the phone. And they go through this test. There's like 55 indicators in there. And what they see is how you are aging. And every single one of those indicators are addressed if they need to be. Are you outside of the ratios? Do you need to bring one number down or one number back up again so that you feel better? Because just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to start acting and behaving and feeling like an older person. They'll look for early indicators, the big three. Try to slow those down or stop them entirely. But the first thing you need to do is be proactive. Take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
Hey, it's Brock Ewart here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A total blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers into and out of Venezuela is what President Trump says on social media he has just ordered. He also posts that Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio have briefed Capitol Hill lawmakers on the deadly U.S. military strikes in the Caribbean. Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, is dissatisfied with the explanations given.
We're all in favor of stopping the flow of narcotics, cocaine and fentanyl. But there are ways to do it without killing in this kind of combatant situation.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina thinks President Nicolas Maduro should be ousted.
You cannot allow this man to be standing after this display of force, and I did not get a very good answer as to what happens next.
The Trump administration is expanding its travel ban to include 5 more countries: Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, South Sudan, and Syria. Rob and Michelle Reiner's son Nick has been charged in the killing of his parents. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman.
These charges will be 2 counts of first-degree murder with the special circumstance of multiple murders.
If convicted, Nick Reiner could face life in prison without parole or the death penalty. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is in L.A.
The motive at this point, still unclear. We got nothing in that line from inside, but we do have a better sense of the timeline, primarily emerging from a day of reporting. Police earlier today confirming Rob and Michelle Reiner were discovered in their master bedroom Sunday afternoon. It implies perhaps that this attack happened in the early morning as they were asleep.
After releasing new enhanced video of the suspect in the Brown University campus shooting that has left 2 students dead and 9 injured, Providence police are still asking for the public's help. They're asking for the community to check security camera footage.
You see an individual, a man, wearing a surgical mask and dark clothing, and they are hoping the public can help identify this person because they don't know who the individual is.
That's CBS's Anna Schechter. Another atmospheric river hit Washington state, causing historic flooding. A levee failed on the White River in Pacific Washington, prompting evacuation orders for over 200 residents early this morning. And Washington Governor Bob Ferguson announces,
it's been a difficult week, and that difficult week has been made more difficult by a loss of life that was reported early this morning in Snohomish County.
More heavy rain is expected later this week. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Some areas are starting to see spotty power outages from the winds that are expected to up overnight. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. But first, Nate Connors has your KIRO News Radio traffic.
Thanks, Jillian. Yeah, add to the wind, we have heavy rain saturating our evening commute, turning to snow, and our mountain passes overnight is going to get heavy. Mercer Island, we have water on the roadway on eastbound 90 near East Mercer Way that has the HOV lane closed right now, and that adds to the backup across the lake. Crossing the lake westbound into Seattle, you're packed from Bellevue Way over to I-5. Westbound 520 is packed from 84th over to I-5. Plan on 35 minutes from Bellevue on both of these routes. Seattle to Everett for an hour 45 minutes. Solid from downtown Seattle to 128th and South Everett. Bellevue to Everett an hour 40. It's solid from Bellevue to Alderwood, and then you'll hook into that northbound I-5 backup as well. Seattle to Tacoma, hour 45 minutes. It's packed from MLK Junior Way all the way to State Route 516. That backup is just barely moving. Once you hit 516, though, things open up for you, but it's still slow all the way into Tacoma. North 5, you're packed from the Fife Curve to State Route 18. If you're heading out toward Gig Harbor, westbound 16, bumper to bumper from the west end of the Narrows up to Pioneer Way, and westbound 18 is packed this evening from Covington into Auburn. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Jillian Raftery. First the water, now the wind. High wind advisories are in effect now for much of the Puget Sound lowlands, including Seattle. Gusts up to 45 are expected. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Morgan Palmer says they'll kick up even higher in other areas.
Now, a step up from that is a high wind warning. So it goes wind advisory, high wind warning. This is when we hit winds of 50 plus, at least in gusts. We start to see a lot more tree damage and trees falling when we hit 50 plus. And we're looking at areas, especially in the South Sound, toward the coast, as well as around Everett and Island County through the Strait. You're going to have some strong winds coming into Whidbey Island. And this is going to go on for most of the overnight hours.
About 1,800 customers in North Seattle have now lost power. 220 families in the city of Pacific may have to wait several more days before they can go home. That's the latest from crews working to repair a levee that breached along the White River early Tuesday. A spotter noticed the initial leak, prompting people to flee their homes in pajamas as waters rose.
There were several helicopters and all the police were here on the megaphones saying, "Get out now." That's when I went into survival mode.
Bloodworks Northwest is warning of a serious blood shortage after this week's atmospheric river knocked out donations across the region. Their Renton Lab and Donor Center had to evacuate after the Green River levee breach on Monday, leading to more than 430 canceled appointments since Thursday. With holiday donations already down, Bloodworks says hospitals need help now. Boeing has donated $500,000 to support flood recovery. Half will go to the Red Cross Northwest region. Half will go to Community Foundation of Snohomish County. The company has more than 65,000 employees in Washington state. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Showers and breezy on Wednesday, and the exciting news, some sun breaks. Back to rain on Thursday, highs in the mid-40s to low 50s. Right now, it is 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
We need
you.
feedback. We need feedback to improve the show.
Tom Brokaw, I'd like to see about getting 2 seats on a first class to fly from New York to Seattle. At least an hour to the flight, I need somebody to check little Chuck's diaper to make sure he doesn't start flinging his poo around. His name is Little Chuck. He is a showbiz monkey given to me by the likes of Shields and Yarnell. He's used to flying all the time, and he wants to sit up with me in first class. And when the plane takes off, to calm him down, I normally let him go up there and see the pilots. He likes to press the buttons. Oh. Hey, Tom Brokaw.
Okay. Monkey on a plane.
That old bit.
Oh, my God. That poor lady. You broke a lot of FCC rules on that one. Ooh. When I first did it with I think it was John Fisher and Mike West on the mountain.
You work with John Fisher?
Yeah. And we didn't tell the person. Oh, it's terrible. It's, statute of limitations running out on that. I think
you're
we're okay
fine,
on that
yeah.
one, right? Right, Andrew? We're not getting in trouble.
Absolutely.
For that. The original, I don't know where the original is, but my friend Mike Dillon always loves the retelling of that story. That poor lady, we put her on hold, and we'd play that music on her. But she gave me everything. Because I was Tom Brokaw, she agreed to have the monkey be checked. She only thing she held the line on was when the flight takes off, the monkey cannot go into the cockpit.
Good call.
Yeah.
Safety.
It shows you. When you're famous, you get just about anything you want, except for that one. Drive it in. That's the good old days. Yeah, the good old days. Wild times. All right, let's see. You're writing to us. That's good and good for you. Let's see. I guess the big story is the fact they're making big changes there at King County. Are the employees back? Not yet.
You mean in the office?
Yeah. They still have been working from home. And I think Reagan Dunn was like, hey, how about we come back to work?
3 days. 3 days.
How about just, we don't want to force you to, we know you're doing great work at home. The 12,000 employees working for King County, but for some reason can't get him to come on back.
He said his own staff turned on him when he proposed that.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Gurmai Zihalai.
Pretty close.
Is your new King County, elected by the people. He is your executive. And he has made the big news today is that he has decided that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to streamline. So there's different departments that he's streamlining, not getting rid of, just streamlining. And here they are. So this is the big news that they're cutting. It says cuts to equity and racial and social justice office. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're cutting them. Gurmai is saying basically, look, the problem is they're all siloed. They're in these different departments. So according to the changes, 4 offices will be dissolved. The Executive Climate Office, the Office of Equity and Racial and Social Justice, the Office of Economic Opportunity and Creative Economy, and the Office of Performance Strategy and Budget. I don't know if it's cutting as much as it is. He says we're not going to have silos that you saw in the latest administration where we had an office on this and an office on that. So we're going to have one executive office and all work together to advance our priorities.
But the amount of people that it will take to staff those is going from 90 down to 30.
Yes.
That is it.
There you go. So the Office Performance Strategy Budget, for example, previously employed 90. The new budget team will shrink to 30. The remaining employees move into policy leads or other department roles with the remaining employees. So the new budget will shrink to about 30 with the remaining. So is there 90 and 30, and then the remaining will go to other departments. So I don't know if they're necessarily cutting jobs. I know one particular individual, Kelly Ryder, is not going to be working for King County anymore, which is a shame. I'm a fan of her work. But she's out. I don't know where the other ones that have been
It does
removed.
go on to say that approximately 147 roles, 70 people have been asked to stay, and the others are expected to leave their current jobs in January.
Okay. I could make a couple more cuts for you. So he says that what he wants to do is these are the right. So the Executive Climate Office. I'll make it really easy for you. Scratch that. The Office of Equity, Racial, and Social Justice. That is the Office of Discrimination. I would scratch that. The Office of Economic Opportunity and Creative Economy. I don't know what they do. Let's see what their metrics are. What do we spend? What do we get? I'd want to see what the numbers on that. The Office of Performance Strategy and Budget. I guess that's where auditing comes in. Because we know the story that broke about 4 months ago was the fact that they took your money, our money, about $1.2 billion of it, and just wasted it. From 2020, 2021, 2022, the audit came back. They only audited a small percentage, I think like 7 altogether, but they just basically took a helicopter with bags of money and dumped it on a bunch of nonprofits that didn't do crap with it other than waste your money, as the auditor found. So the fact that they're trying to get these things unsiloed into one bigger group, let's see how well they do. But I could save you money. The Climate Office, get rid of that. The Equity, Social Justice, what do they do? Is this DEI? It certainly seems like a DEI thing. I'd scratch that. I don't understand why you have something like that in there. And the other two talking about economy and creative economy. Let's see how that all works. That's where the government's economy. The government doesn't create wealth. It only takes wealth. It can create forms of a marketplace that allows wealth to be gained and lost depending on the efforts of the individuals that are involved in the commerce. But I don't see necessarily where the government should be in there trying to move money around into one particular area or another. Just, give everybody a chance to succeed. But we'll see how he does. So there you go. I guess that's the only news coming out of King County. And the other one was that he had to appoint 3 nominees to a historic King County appointment. So this news broke on the 5th of December. King County council members listened to public comments during a November meeting. And then apparently King County is about to make history with a new council appointment. So when you win, you leave District 2 seat. That was his seat. It was open. So he has a chance to. So he has nominated 3 people for the vacant District 2 seat. And whoever is chosen will become the first black woman in King County Council, creating the first majority woman council in county history. Are these the best people? Or are we doing what we saw is so often reflected in Mr. Biden's appointments, where he wanted America to be represented, so he made sure that he would have a color and a sexual orientation and anything else that you could check the boxes with. So I don't know if these are the best people, but these are the best black people, black women that he could find. So there you go. Right. All righty. Well, let's see if any of this stuff actually ends up serving the people of King County. On to other stuff.
Anyway, 0-2.
Oh, by the way, bean update. There it is. The can of beans still there. No one has told Jason Rantz. Did we swear anybody that works for Rantz to remain silent the whole time?
No. Well, yes, we did. We told his producer to completely ignore what we were doing. He did, however, hear that we were in his studio, but I don't believe he has any idea what we did.
Okay, fine. It's childish. We should be in the business of news. We should just be doing straight news, no opinions. So here we go. Press conference after the shooting at Brown University. This is I think this is right after the shooting. Then about 6 hours afterwards. So this was over the weekend, right? Here is your president there at Brown when she was being asked questions at the press conference. And it goes, well, hold on. I'm so busy putting beans in Jason Rantz's background. I didn't press the right button.
President, with all due respect, 6 hours after the shooting, and you said you don't know what was going on in that classroom, how does that happen? Were they taking an exam? Were they meeting for a club?
I don't know.
6 hours later, you're the president, and you don't know.
I do not know.
Ew, wow. Guy drives a knife in him. One last comment on that thing. Here's what we do know. The woman that was killed, shot in the face, it headed up, and it must have been a small club at Brown. She headed up the Republican student. She was the president of the Republicans on Brown University campus. I'm sure there's probably about 12 of them altogether. So she was there. The class was economics class. We know that the number of shots fired, the number of students injured, I think was 11 or 14. I think 2 were killed. The guy goes in, fires off, I think 40 rounds altogether, and then walks out. And now the big questions that people want are, there's cameras everywhere, all over this campus. You didn't catch any photos of the guy, no video of the guy going in. No video of the guy coming out. No video of the guy walking through the campus. And why did they not, after the guy had gone in and shot these people, why wasn't there sort of a warning to everybody on campus? Why didn't you send off some alarms? Don't you have all that sort of stuff in place? And people want to know because apparently he yelled something before he went in. And now this is where all the conspiracy theories come in. What did he yell? One individual who said that he heard, I think the quote was something like, I talked to everyone that was in the room and they all said they don't remember what he yelled. Okay, whoever that expert is that was in the room determining that no one remembers what was said. Because here's what you hear online and you see online. And I think Laura Looney or whatever her name is,
Applicable, but it's Loomer.
Loomer. Okay, she's saying she has on good authority. I don't know what that's supposed to mean anymore in the world of instant news. That the guy yelled Allah Akbar. Well, if that's the case, well, that certainly narrows things down as to what the motivation would be. Now, of course, if you watched any of the news coming out of Australia, when they kept saying, yeah, we can't figure out what their motivation is. Let's see. Let's stand up on a little bridge with hunting rifles and shoot as many Jews as we possibly can. And one of the guys who was investigated by Australian authorities because of they thought he had connections to ISIS in 2019, but then decided, well, that's neither here nor there. They didn't know what the motivation was. I think the motivation is a hatred of Jews. I think the motivation was pretty simple that anybody saw it, but they did everything they possibly could to not have to say that for a while until finally enough pressure was put on authorities to be able to go, well, we're pretty sure that this is, a Muslim terrorist attack against Jews here in Australia. It has been bubbling up on the surface for quite some time, and now eventually people are screaming and yelling at the authorities there in Australia that you have blood on your hands. This we don't know. We haven't been able to determine, although there's enhanced video of the guy walking around. He covered his face with a mask. You can't quite tell anything about the individual, but we still haven't known. And if he happened to yell Allah Akbar, that's the question where everybody wants to know. And if they find out, this is where it gets bad. I talked about this yesterday. If you put a lid on a pot, that creates a problem because then you have all of this heat and you have the lid fly off, right? So what you have now is whenever a vacuum is formed, that's when people get a chance to rush in and try to figure out, what are you not telling us and why are you not telling us these things? What are you holding back? And then finally, somebody finds it, and then it makes everybody that's supposed to be in the position of authority look like they are, through omission, not telling us, or they're intentionally deceiving, right? And that's why you end up having media at, 14% approval rating, and that's where you have officials that deceiving people, either intentionally by giving you the wrong fact or withholding a fact. So I guess we'll wait to find out. So other than Laura, what's her again?
Loomer,
who says on her, 5 million people have said, yes, she's got the information.
Oh, Laura.
Huh? She's not a good person to talk to about that?
Maybe. She might be right. I don't know. Like you make a good point. Why is what was taking place in the classroom, why is that such a secret?
They were taking an economics exam. That's all we know. And did the guy intentionally shoot? Did he go into that room to shoot the girl who is the president of the Republican Party or whatever the name of the group is there on the campus? Brown University leans way left. So I'm sure there's not a lot. So did you go in there intentionally for political motives to take out a conservative? And I haven't been able to see anything that this now deceased woman had up on her social media to see, what was it she was talking about. Obviously, the guy had a particular room he wanted to go into. They have video of him, or they think they have video of him stalking the area or knowing where he's going to go. He intentionally went into that room to kill people. And why? Why those people? So that's the question. And now, whether or not the media or the authorities are going to give you the straight poop on it or not, who knows? But that's, again, if it turns out that the guy was politically motivated and it turns out that this is an Islamic sort of jihad attack, well, this is what, then you have to answer the questions about, globalizing the intifada. And then you get into the whole idea of, is anybody safe? But when we get those answers, we'll have them for you. We're not doing the Laura Louie lunatic stuff. And one last thing, apparently the U.S. Unemployment numbers did rise. The Fed, I think when the vote came down, It was very close whether they're going to drop the interest rates. The majority won on that one. They did drop the rates, but a lot of them, and even Jerome Powell was like, well, I'm not so sure we're going to get the right numbers. We don't know because the government had been closed down for so long. I don't know if I trust the unemployment numbers, but apparently they did rise to, I think, 4.8%. If they had that number at the time of the voting as to whether they would be able to reduce the interest rates, I don't know if that would have affected the final tally on that. And still, the ongoing talk about striking these boats, man, I don't get that. And then also the other crazy thing out of Venezuela is they're going and getting the big oil tankers that are coming out of Venezuela and just seizing them. And then the question is, what do you do with all the oil? They said, well, should we give it away to charity? Should we stop it somehow? Because that's where all the money gets funneled in. So Cuba, Venezuela, and Russia all together, all of that oil, which is what feeds Venezuela, which feeds the corrupt dictatorship there in that country. So they're trying to cut them off on the money supply, but in the same time, they're also blowing up boats that are out in international waters.
Why can't you bring that oil to the States? Is that too far?
I think Trump said he might.
That's like a pirate move.
Well, look what he's doing already. What's wrong with a pirate move?
Yeah, I mean...
let's frost the cake, baby.
I think barrel of oil now is at 55 cents, $57 or $55. It's really weird. When it drops below a certain number, I forget what that number is, then they stop producing as much because it's not worth that to them. If it drops below a certain number, it's the cost to produce it not getting into the marketplace. It ends up being a loss for them. So they'll shut the spigot off and wait for the price to get back up there again. So you get yourself some more coin out of all the efforts. But does anybody want maybe a big tanker of oil is on somebody's Christmas list?
Oh, it's on mine.
I apparently know you would get one out of Venezuela. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
If you're just hitting the road, you got a tough commute ahead of you if you're between Tacoma and Everett, which is most of you. Seattle to Everett, plan on an hour, 45 minutes. Got a thick backup from downtown all the way to 128th in South Everett. Bellevue to Everett has improved a bit, hour and a half. It's solid from Bellevue to Alderwood and extra thick through Kirkland. We've got a new crash just past 85th in your right center lane. Everett to Seattle, hour 5 minutes. It gets thick in Northgate in the downtown. Bellevue to South Center, 55 minutes, a 20-minute delay here. Pretty solid now from 520 all the way to I-5 in South Center. Seattle to Federal Way, hour 20. It's you're stuck in second gear from MLK Junior Way all the way to 516. And in Olympia, it looks like we've got a new crash westbound 101 near Mud Bay Road as you head into Madrona Beach. You're backed up to Crosby Boulevard. That there is a 4-mile backup. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, if you've got a bad wrist, a shoulder, elbow, knee, hip, I had a bad hip until I saw Dr. Mark Wagner. I've been talking about stem cells now and stem cell procedures for about 9 weeks. So you probably have some questions because if you've ever had to use the expression bone on bone, then you know what I'm talking about. So it's 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Dr. Mark Wagner is going to be there for us, all of us. He's got a live webinar happening, and he's going to answer the questions that you have about how the procedure works, what's the best results. Maybe even want to ask him, hey, I've got this bad, shoulder, and I've had surgery, and I haven't been able to do this and haven't been able to do that. What do you think, Dr. Mark Wagner? Now, of course, he's not looking at your x-rays, but you're getting the expertise of Dr. Mark Wagner, who's done 20,000 of these procedures, and it's all going to be there for you tomorrow. So easy, so convenient. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, it's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. You want to sign up? drmarkwagnermd.com, drmarkwagnermd.com.
After a close call against the Colts.
Jason Myers with his 6th field goal of the day.
Never a doubt, right? Talking about picking each other up, just being there when we need them.
The Hawks gear up for the biggest game of the season. The game that will likely determine who wins the division.
Holy catfish!
Seahawks, Rams, Thursday night at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 5:15.
This should be fun.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
At your local credit union, WSECU, making a difference isn't just a motto, it's a mission. That's why they're honoring Washington's community champions, the everyday heroes who strengthen our communities. Steve Rabel here with WSECU board member Marcus Glasper, and it's time to announce our next community champion.
Our community champion this week is Matthew Ballantyne in Lacey. Matthew builds beds for children in need through his organization, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Thank you, Matthew, for providing more kids the benefits of a good night's sleep.
The Pacific Northwest is the perfect backdrop for the holiday season. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law reminds us that the roadways don't always agree.
It's that combination of additional travel, changes in routine, and winter weather that make this the most dangerous time of the year to be behind the wheel.
Any safety tips to help commuters keep the holidays joyful?
The number one cause of accidents remains distracted driving, even during the holidays. So store that cell phone in a place that eliminates temptation. It's imperative we set the example for our teens. Also, be aware of abrupt changes in the weather and prepare for it. Sometimes it's as simple as allowing additional distance for following or stopping. Lastly, make sure your vehicle is properly maintained for winter.
That includes four-wheel drive and chains when required at the pass. Please follow these safety precautions from my good friends at Pendergast Law and keep you and your neighbors safe this holiday season.
Happy holidays from all of us at Pendergast Law.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Jillian Raftery. It has been a rough stretch for Skykomish with power outages, no ski season, and now the State Department of Transportation says Highway 2 could be shut down between there and Leavenworth for months. Henry Sladek, owner of the Cascadia Inn, says they have to try to have contingency plans.
Try to have some money set aside to get you through those slow times, but very, very few of us small businesses have much of that in the way of, reserves.
His 14 rooms have been empty for a week, but he's keeping his restaurant open even during outages so locals can still get a hot meal. Many families are still waiting for the Skagit River to crest and then recede over the next few days before they can go home. This mother of four says to KIRO 7 TV she lost nearly everything, including the tools they use to run their small business.
Who knows, honestly, in the long run, if we're even, like, how much damage is going to be done. After seeing the first round, it's really scary.
High winds are expected to pick up overnight and could cause widespread outages. About 7,000 customers are already knocked out around the region. In Sydney, Australia, the first funerals have been held for the 15 people killed in the mass shooting in Bondi Beach. They'd been celebrating the first night of Hanukkah, and authorities are calling it a terrorist attack. Here's CBS News correspondent Anna Corin with more from Sydney.
Moments before the carnage began, a dashcam captured Bondi local Boris Gurman grabbing a weapon from one of the gunmen near their car. An Islamic State flag can be seen draped across the windscreen. A tussle follows before Gurman and his wife Sophia, who helped confront the attacker, are shot dead on the sidewalk.
Tensions rising with Venezuela. President Trump has called for a, quote, total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers that enter or depart Venezuela. Ken Gray is a professor of Homeland Security, Criminal Justice and National Security at the University of New Haven, and he explains what this could mean for the United States.
The last oil tanker that was seized by the United States, it will be the model that will be used against any oil tankers that try to run this blockade.
Venezuela is a major producer of oil. Now let's get a check on traffic with Nate Connors.
All right, Jillian, heavy rain across the map making for a tough commute home this evening. Seattle to Everett, hour 45 minutes. It's thick from downtown Seattle all the way into South Everett. Bellevue to Everett, an hour and a half. It's solid from Bellevue to Alderwood. In Kirkland, we've got this crash just past 85th in your right center lane, and that's making for an extra thick drive through Kirkland. Everett to Seattle, we're right at an hour. It gets thick in Northgate in the downtown. Bellevue to South Center, 55 minutes, pushing an hour. Pretty solid backup from 520 in Bellevue all the way down to I-5 in South Center. Couple little breaks here and there. Seattle to Federal Way, hour 20 minutes. Your bumper to bumper from MLK Junior Way to State Route 516. North 5 in Federal Way is bumper to bumper from the Fife Curve to State Route 18 as drivers now heading on I-5 with our closure on the Valley Freeway. And in Olympia, we've got a crash westbound 101 near Mud Bay Road heading into Madrona Beach. You've got a 4-mile backup starting at Crosby Boulevard. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. More rain expected, but sun breaks coming Wednesday afternoon. Those are possible. We're going to see mountain snow up to 2 feet and highs in the high 40s to low 50s over the next couple of days. It is 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh my. Okay. Jeannie, if you'd be so kind to spin the wheel. Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe wheel.
And the wheel's quiet.
Well, kind of had to play it smooth. There it is. It's landed on someone. Me. Oh, what do you know? I'd like to take my eggs and poach them. Not too hard, not too soft. And then take a piece of wheat toast, break it up into little pieces, put it in the bowl, and then make sure that each piece is well saturated with the yolk, and then just enjoy myself.
I believe they call that the Persian crumbler.
Okay. Don't forget, all those recipes are going to be available for you on in a leather-bound book.
Smells so good.
Also, send you a tote bag from NPR. I need your support. This is like a soap opera for me. Hey, let me just bring everybody up to speed. Soap opera, the little soap opera. Set this thing up here. Second one I sent you, Andrew, if you have it. No, the other one, more exciting one. Organs.
I don't have that one yet.
No, we're going to have you that one.
I like the last one. What's wrong with that one?
I'll just set it up this way. Hold on a second. I know it's crap. I know it's total scam. You probably get these things. You get a text message and say, "Hey, how you doing with your new house?" You're like, "I don't know, who is this?" "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Bob." "Oh no, it's Steve." "Oh, hi Steve. Don't mean to bother you." You sound like a very nice person. And just total crap. Anyway, it's been going on for about, 16, 17 days?
17 weeks, it feels like.
Long time. She calls herself Molly. Joe has actually seen her on video.
True.
We did a call. And I know it's garbage. I mean, I know what it is. And I could tell she's slowly starting to try to put the hook in, because I know eventually it's like, oh, could you please send me some money and I'll invest it for you. So she's been telling me that she's been making like $300,000 in the gold trades every couple of days.
Weird.
She sends me the indicators that, oh, I just made more money here, made more money. She apparently made all of her money in China. She lives in the United States. She owns a jewelry store, but doesn't really need to work. And like, how am I doing? It becomes this, and she's constantly, in the morning, I get a text message. At night, every night, sweet dreams. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And then I wake up in the morning. Hi, I hope you have a great day. And she's constantly texting me throughout the whole day, and Joe's like, stop responding to her. She's not real. She's as real as she can be. Andrew, please hit the music. Oh, that's when we last left Molly and John had offered to go to LA to have dinner with her, but she put that off. And here's what it sounds like. These are the last ones. What are your plans today? She said to me. I said, I have meetings, lots of meetings, then dinner with a friend. She writes back, sounds like you've been busy today. It's been a while since we sat down and had a chat with me. I said, well, it is our busiest time of the year. In January, I'll travel for pleasure. And then she writes, are you with another woman? And I said, I wish sometimes. You play her, Joe.
Okay. No matter how busy you are, I think you should make time for me. Oh, then you said I wish sometimes.
I wish sometimes.
Then go find another woman. I won't bother you anymore.
Molly, your text messages are sometimes the highlight of my day. Your sweet dream wishes and your good morning messages help me start and finish my day. You are my pen pal, girlfriend. It makes me feel young again.
Many times you make me feel like you have other women. If you do have other women, please tell me so I won't bother you anymore. I am a woman, and what I need is your care and protection. But you've never treated me that way, while I've always cared for you.
Molly, my friend, how can I show you I care? I want you to know how much I like you. Just tell me. I have a few ideas, but would love to hear your thoughts.
Michael,
I go by Michael.
Michael, I'll answer you honestly and calmly. Caring is not about big words or dramatic gestures. For me, it's about consistency, presence, and feeling emotionally safe. It's knowing that when I reach out, I matter, not only when it's convenient or quiet. I don't need to compete with anyone, and I don't want to simply question my place. I simply need to feel chosen through actions and reassurance. After doubt appears, I like you, and I enjoy what we share, but I'm a woman, not just a pen pal. Care is shown in how
Joe,
you show.
when she says, but I'm a woman, can I get more about, more sexy in there? Go ahead, pick it up from there.
But I'm a woman.
There you go.
Not just a pen pal. Care is shown in how you show up, how you prioritize, and how you protect the connection while it's happening.
Okay, Molly. Let's sit down together. Let's share a meal. I'll take time from work. I'll travel to see you, to see your smile, to hear your dreams, and maybe even make you laugh. So say when and say where, Molly.
Emotions take time and develop gradually. I hope we can get to know each other better before meeting again. In the meantime, we can talk on the phone more often. It's just as meaningful as seeing each other in person.
I agree, Molly. Wholeheartedly. Let's make time for each other. I'd love to see your beautiful face on the phone again. Can we talk tomorrow? Well, apparently, Joe, we're talking tonight. She's going to call me. And I know it's a scam. I know it's some overweight guy with long, dirty fingernails in India that smells like curry that's just working this phone.
He's got 50 of them in front of him.
Yeah, and I know it. And I'm like, it's total crap. But the weird thing is when she gets on the phone, she has the curtains closed behind her. And I know they're in China. or somewhere because the delay is intense. She tells me she's in L.A. But the weird thing is, if you look my phone number up, you'd know who I am. But these people are not smart enough. But then, she sends me how much money she made today. Look at sharing the fruits of my recent gold trading success with you. I made $307,000.
That's the scam right there. At some point, she's gonna want you to entrust her.
Well, I told her I don't know anything about it, but I'd love to learn more. I'd love to buy gold. I've got all this money sitting in an account. Can you help me? But she hasn't put the hook in yet. She's starting to get the hook there. But if you found another woman, I'll understand.
You don't think it's Nick messing around with you?
No, it's not Nick.
All right, just
Come
had
on,
to
Nick's like,
ask.
just break up with her already. I'm sick of her.
I kind of am too.
Well, you're not gonna like the fact that somebody else has written me.
If I have to hear the bring everybody up to speed story one more time, my God.
All right, whatever. I don't have enough to do. But I got Molly over here. I got Nick. She's got the.
And you got to tell every person in that newsroom, all 40 of them.
You don't want to hear what's happening with Molly.
Yeah.
Well, she's a woman. She has desires and needs, Joe.
She needs to feel protected.
Oh, Molly. Oh, silly Molly. Yes. She is quite attractive, though.
Is she really? You've seen her? Or is
yeah.
It's not an AI photo.
No. It's her in person. I'll see her tonight.
What?
Yeah, because she's going to call me. We do video calls.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't understand love, Nate.
I guess not.
Just do your traffic.
Okay. I love traffic. KIRO Radio Rundown's got the update. Seattle to Everett, we've improved a bit. Hour 35 minutes still. Thick backup from downtown Seattle into South Everett. Bellevue to Everett, hour 25. You're solid from Bellevue to Alderwood. Extra thick in Kirkland because we've got this crash just past Northeast 85th. It's still in that right center lane. Everett to Seattle, we're down to 50 minutes. It's thick from Northgate into downtown. Bellevue to South Center has gone up to 1 hour. It is solid from Bellevue all the way down to I-5 and South Center. Seattle to Federal Way is at an hour 20 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 35 minutes on both I-90 and 520. Eastbound 90 is slow from I-5 here in Seattle across Mercer Island, where we had the HOV lane closed due to standing water. That has since been remedied and back open, so this backup is slowly thinning out. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
How about a simple New Year's resolution that is guaranteed to succeed? I'm talking about reversing your hair loss. This is a easy one-day hair loss solution from Advanced Hair. It begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow. World-class Dr. Alan Perungo and his top-rated team there at Advanced Hair were even crowned 425 Business of the Year. That's the second year in a row. Yes. So let's see. It was probably 13 years ago when I met Dr. Perungo, and I was able to have my hair loss reversed, just like they said, guaranteed. I had nothing to lose except for my hair, and I got it fixed. So if you want a fuller head of hair, and this is your New Year's resolution that you can definitely achieve, and celebrate the new year with Advanced Hair and get $250 off. 250 free hair graft. All you got to do is schedule an appointment at 425-449-8185 or visit advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
Storm damage can hit your home hard. Your roof, siding, windows, and even your deck. That's why we're here 24/7 to respond when you need us most. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. From emergency repairs to complete replacements, State Roofing and Exteriors has the team, the skills, and the experience to protect your home after the storm. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Every Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Hey, it's John Curley. If you're having joint pain, this will interest you. This Wednesday night at 6, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen really good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar this Wednesday night at 6. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Ready for your next chapter? At Edmonds Village, discover independent living that's truly exceptional. Premium apartments, all-inclusive chef-prepared dining, and a vibrant community in beautiful Edmonds, Washington. Call to learn about Edmonds Village end-of-year incentives. It's time to say yes to more connection, more adventures, more you. Tour today, reserve your spot, and start living fully on your terms at Edmonds Village. Call now, 425-534-5100 to learn more. There is so much to love at Edmonds Village.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
I assume no time to have a song or from Hudson, or just get right into it.
One syllable.
There we go. Thank you, Hudson. Appreciate that. We'll get to the letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Dennis in Seattle says, guys, listen. Chef Tom Douglas's daughter, Loretta, told me she's never seen the movie Home Alone. Have you?
No.
Okay.
Jamestown and Eastlake. I'm holding the line on that one, too. Jason Rantz is quite stylizing. However, since the correction to his lighting, Mr. John Curley studio, I don't see the reason for the accusation that one studio is better than the other.
Yeah, how about that?
All right.
This is also related to Rantz's can of beans. Rachel in Auburn says, I vote we put Elf on the Shelf behind Jason Rantz.
I like that. Fox Island G says, put up those bright green lights. What is it?
Rubber-dongers.
Rubber-dongers. They throw at the W. I know what it is. They throw at the WNBA game. You're so bad, Fox Island G. You're bad. You're bad. Go ahead.
You take Tina.
Oh, small farm animal figurines discreetly positioned. Yes, Tina, that I can do.
Old Man John says, put John's bong behind him at 420. It'll make an impact.
All right, Molly Kippe. Talk about Molly. Guys, that's just creepy.
Amy in Redmond says, I've been talking to a Seattle guy who's on an oil rig right now, but feels so attracted to me despite our new texting relationship.
Amy, yeah, I'll see you at the meetings.
Yeah.
David, the mailbox guy, says, what if John said there was another woman? Would she stop texting?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Elliot in Seattle says, after Joe Mama's read-through, audio smut will never be the same.
Katie in Covington, this is great. Can't wait to hear more conversations. I told you. I told you.
Benny the tugboat expert says, give us the straight unstepped on dope, John.
Well, that's it for now.
Yeah.
Steve Allen, oh yeah. Can you still take the train to Leavenworth?
Nate?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. Tim in Edmonds says, Leavenworth is not closed, guys. There was a power outage for 2 days, but it's currently open for business.
There we
It's
go.
true, yes.
Mike in Portland says, I work for Fred Hutch, and last night we had a black tie Christmas party.
Yeah. See? How about that? 360 says, I really like to hear Joe laugh.
And is it Layla?
Yep.
And the 425, I was sitting in traffic, not moving, listening to the John Curley Show, and laughing like crazy.
Andrew in the 509 says, it's too late.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Teeny runs a tight ship around here.
This comes to us from 206. This is on the initiative gathering. They say, I was able to sign the petitions last week out in front of my local grocery store where a signature gatherer was set up. I won't say where because I don't want to endanger anybody. I always sign the petitions, even if I don't agree with what's being proposed, because I believe it's more important to have voters in the state vote their opinions rather than have government decide things for us.
Look at that, 206.
Yes. By the way, Let's Go Washington or letsgowa.com. They'll tell you where you can sign, how to get signed. I don't think it's too late to have them mailed to you, but there's plenty of places they'll have you sign.
Just sign them or not sign them, whatever you want to do. All right. Okay, there we go. Let's do another.
That's all she wrote.
I'll let you know how it goes to my phone call with Molly tonight.
I can't wait.
She's a jealous little vixen, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Seattle to Everett, hour and a half. Got a thick backup still from downtown Seattle here all the way to, well, we'll call it 164th now there in North Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, hour 25. Solid from Bellevue to Alderwood. Extra thick in Kirkland because of this crash at Northeast 85th. Now blocking the right lane. Linwood to Seattle, half hour. It gets thick there in Northgate into downtown. Bellevue to South Center, a solid hour with a pretty solid backup from 520 all the way to I-5. Seattle to Federal Way has improved a bit, hour 10 minutes. Still bumper to bumper from MLK Junior Way to State Route 516. From there, you'll thin out, but it's still pretty slow all the way through Federal Way. And Federal Way to Seattle, 35 minutes. You're backed up actually from the 5 curve to State Route 18 before things start to thin out for you. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you're a guy and you're, say, over the age of 50 or something, and I bet if I said, hey, who is your primary care physician? You're like, oh, I don't know. I don't go to the doctor. Yeah, because most guys just don't. They just, kind of wait for something to go wrong, and then they go to the, what's wrong with me, right? Like heart disease or diabetes or cancer. And then all of a sudden you get the bad news, and now you're having to deal with something that is life-changing. Imagine, let's go back in time, and imagine that you were a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic, like I signed up in 2009. And the doctors there using the latest science, they've been doing this for 25 years, they look for all the early indicators of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Plus, they also notice how you're aging, and they make small incremental changes. They're proactive. They're focusing on prevention rather than dealing with the problem. And then all of a sudden you find out that, well, you can make small changes and you can have a longer life. That's a pretty good return on your investment. It only takes a few hours a year, and you know what you end up with? More years. How about that? You take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Thank you to all of our great KIRO News Radio listeners.
This is the moment.
For making the 37th year of Holiday Magic our biggest one yet.
It is a celebration that benefits Treehouse.
Thanks to your generosity and the important work of Treehouse, kids in foster care will have the holiday they wished for.
We ask you to give. You do. You always come through.
You can still donate. Just head to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere. And if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
The real estate market is picking up and you want to sell with the best. You need to work with the Novak team. Mike Novak guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If not, he'll sell it for free. Go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell it for you. Meet the Novaks Novaks.com.
Your best source for local news, KIRO News Radio.